Okay, so we rejoin in Aenor, shortly after meeting back up with Minstrel, who is going to be going very quiet for the next little while. And
As he sleeps off his resurrection.
Yeah, exactly. He's resting. He's just going to be loitering around for a short while after dealing with the ghasts and bookmarking the new location for the teleportation book. The city is generally more and more awake now as time is progressing. The day of misfortune has come and gone, and you're now... Everything seems to have gotten back to a regular swing.
Well, I suppose we need not waste any more time here.
Yeah, let's get poor Merrick sorted out, shall we?
Who's got the book?
I believe, Pyre, you were carrying it back from the ghasts. I don't think
yes,
you gave
I
it back
have
to
it
me.
here in my hand. I've had it the whole time.
The magic
Now,
pen.
if
It was on your head with your spectacles.
if you gentlemen and lady are ready,
The group gathers round as Pyre opens the book, looking over his shoulder. Easy for some of you, trickier for others.
I'm ready.
I'm going to say to the book, Gotham.
As I say, as the pages once again glow and you're taken to the small site along the edge of the river.
Right.
Head in Godhome. You can see the Druids Park off to your right, and to the left heading into the main of the city.
Morland just, like, as you finish, as like the magic starts out, Morland just turns and goes, "Wait, are more of those things going to..." And then you're gone.
So, and as you get to the other end, appear.
Going to appear.
Yeah. I was going to say, the fact this is the first time I think I've seen you guys use it in like the open anywhere. You've always hidden off somewhere to use it first.
Well,
You were just in the street.
Oh, yeah.
We were at the Magic Guild. I'm sure they won't care.
This is a fair point. Okay, so now in Godhome, you can see the Druids doing their regular thing in the park, split off into their various sections, lounging in various forms, and relaxing.
Morland will have the hood pulled up tight again. Religious
enough.
people not being, werewolf friendly at the best of times.
Well, I suppose we'd better offload this cargo. I mean, say goodbye to Merrick in the proper way, so to the temple.
Find somewhere to dump it.
Who did he worship again?
I do believe it was Tyr.
Okay, I'm going to put something into the chat briefly for you guys.
The very thought of it brings a tear to my
Thine eye.
eye.
Oh,
Because you just hold you hold the hammer like underneath your eye, like.
Okay, so as you can, I've put the map for Godholm up,
Can I?
so you can get a rough idea of where you are. You can see the large park is the Druids thing, and the market is marked up on there for you.
All right, let's head straight to the temple. Can I get Puck back at some point?
We'll say you did it during your rest after you learned your spells.
Nice. All right.
Okay, so you head over to the Grand Chantry because that was your first choice. As you head towards the gate, you're stopped by a 7'2" blue-scaled dragonborn. This
Greetings.
woman you have met once before.
Greetings, my lady. It's nice to see you again.
As I say, she bows her head lightly and says, "Ah, yes, good to see you again. And what are you doing here today? We've not sent for you this time again, have we?"
I'm afraid we bring the gravest of news. One of your warrior priests has died in battle against a foul and evil monstrosity. And then I gesture towards I've forgotten your name, Morland.
Morland. He's like Merrick is like wrapped in a sheet, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah, currently
Yeah.
I believe that's like slung over your back.
Yeah, we bound him, tastefully.
Fair enough. Okay.
We're not just carrying a corpse through the streets, like.
I'm going to give you guys a quick chance. Does anyone remember this person's name? Doris and Pyre, I believe, are the only two who have met her.
History check.
If not, you can roll a history check.
Doris is just going to play it off by trying to refer to her as priest in a respectful way.
Reasonable idea. You can pull the history check if you want.
Okay, I shall. And I've got to remember to do my portents, but I'll do that after.
Fair enough.
Like how at work I forget people's names and then I just refer to them as chef.
As priest. Oh,
All a good option.
Mate, buddy, pal.
24.
24. This is Matron Megara, who you met briefly when you were being shown into the High Cleric's chambers.
Morland, Pan, this is Megara. Matron Megara. Megara, this is these people. Now, introductions over.
Morland just nods.
Introductions over. Perhaps you could send someone to take this cadaver. I mean,
Corpse.
saint. Yes, corpse.
She's going to ask you to bring the body inside and lay it. You notice there's a fair amount of bodies currently laying around the inside of the Chantry as you enter. Clearly something has happened here.
Just look around like nasty flu going around.
Ooh, shit, son.
We'll have a nature check as you go, Morland, as you're looking at the bodies, putting Merrick down.
Miss Megara, Madam
And she's
Matron
going,
Megara.
yes.
What a guan with all these dead bodies. I mean,
I was,
what's
gonna
going
say, I was about to get to that one while we to the check. She's going to say, we've had some recent issue. 10. As far as you can tell, they didn't die a natural death, but that's about all you got.
No, like obvious wounds and things.
No, nothing you're going to spot with a 10. Whatever's happened to them either isn't visible by looking at a sheet-covered body or isn't obvious from like the heads poking out.
There are no just like severed limbs and piles of blood. Like
No, you're fine on that front. They've been covered. Matron Megara is going to turn to the two of you, mentioning the vast number of bodies and asking, and says, "We've had a brief spate of issues. Something in the well water. You were down there a short while ago. Oh no, you're in the sewers, not the well water. My apologies. Something must be wrong with one of the lakes. We've got people looking into it. Don't worry."
one of the lakes? You mean reservoirs?
Well, the nearby bodies of fresh water that kind of supply the city. Yes.
I see.
Do you have many of these bodies of water, priest, or do they have taken on Pyre's accent again? I'm terribly sorry.
Just
Okay,
taking the piss at your friend. I was going to say, she's going to say, well, the two lakes outside Godholm are all fed from Lakeview Town to the north. We've sent a team up there to look at it, but if we don't hear back from them soon, we shall be posting a job with the Adventurers Guild.
Oh,
do you happen to have a jug of that water I could have a look at?
I was going to say, she calls one of the younger, shaven-headed boys who's running around tidying up at the area at the moment over, and sends him to fetch from one of the wells, saying he shall be back shortly.
Much appreciated.
dearie, I've got an idea of how actually it may benefit us. If we were to have a look into this problem and sort it out for you, do you reckon one of your priests could teach me a spell?
Oh, and what kind of spell would that be?
It seems to be a bit of a teaching, somewhat of a ritual called a ceremony, for performing different rites.
Hang on, just
Right.
pulling it out.
It's a level 1 spell.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, we'd have books and various other things on divine incantations, should you want to learn to perform, perhaps, of my own deity.
Indeed.
And takes out from the back of her robes, where she apparently has had a book clipped on this entire time, a
Oh.
small tome of religious teachings.
Oh, my dear. That'd be very useful. You see, our friend here, your devoted warrior, was quite dear to me, and I'd like to. Oh, dearie, I'd like to perform his funeral rites myself.
Well, I don't see the problem with that. Of course. As the boy now comes running back with a bucket full of water.
Can I just ask a really quick question?
Mhm.
Where does Wilhelm live?
He's in. Do you remember the lake just north of where Merrick's Minstrel's Fort is? Just south of Taryn.
Yeah.
So it's not Lakeview Town then. Okay.
No, he does not live there. Don't panic.
Alright, carry on.
Don't panic, you haven't killed everyone.
I'd like to roll Grim Psychometry on the water.
Okay.
It basically gives me an advantage history check on it to sense anything about its dark past.
What about its dark present?
Nope, apparently I put a space in that.
Unless it's, I guess if it was currently, if
Well, I
it
mean,
was
yeah.
whatever it is presently, it's
Previously, then yeah, that's true, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
If someone has put poison in the water, that is in the past. It is currently poisoned.
Fair enough. 20.
20 total.
It was Doris all along.
Oh, dear.
I'll get to rolling it on Doris later.
Fair enough. That's a longer thing to roll.
Oh, don't open that can of worms.
Yeah. Okay, so with the 20, you're going to establish it's being poisoned by rotting pieces of undead flesh.
Oh.
Coming down probably from spreading in the rivers and dissipating enough that it's unfortunately turning into some form of necrotic plague.
You just see Morland like dip a hand into it, and just this sort of purple shimmer. Just pulls the hand back out and is like, "There's something dark going on with that. That's not a virus. That's the undead, but not the living undead. That's bits of old undead feeding into the water supply. That's not right."
As I say, the cleric is now going to. The matron is now going to cast her hands over it once you're finished with the bucket, assuming there's nothing else you want to check.
No, that's about the extent of what I can check.
Fair enough. Anyone else, just before I do this?
No, I'm good, sir.
What? So I missed that bit.
And anything else you want to do with the bucket of water before I do something quickly?
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Just going to begin casting Purify Water, just to so the boy hasn't wasted the entire journey as well. Because if you're going to fetch water, you might as well keep it.
Neat trick.
Very low, very, very simple spell for clerics. Thankfully, because it's just everyone in this town. Okay, so with that, she's going to say, I see, undead. Well, it's possibly best I get the job sent to the Adventurers Guild immediately then. Thank you for your help, as she hands Doris the book filled with the information on ceremonies and rites. Hi, Gypsy.
Someone's at the door.
Fair enough. You see, it's not just me who has a mad dog.
How's it going, man? Yeah. Oh, yeah, the dog always barks at the front door. But she hasn't yet figured out the doorbell.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so with that, as you head back, as Doris is now handed the book of ceremonies from the matron, so you can perform the funeral rites, Doris. I'll say with that you can then learn the spell pretty much instantly once you find the details, can't you, with your Book of Shadows?
2 hours and costs 50 gold per level.
I will let that pass as you're setting it up, we'll say.
Ah.
So you're reading it and learning it at the same time while setting it up. Because I'm a reasonable person.
Well, thank you.
It's a level 1 spell. It's not that
Yeah.
complex.
I was going to say, that's kind of the idea. So, as you set up the funeral rites for Tyr, you set up a set of scales, a candle, and a small weighted hammer.
Do you have any issues with it being IT? Because sometimes it doesn't go properly.
I'm just going to turn you down a bit, Stuart, sorry.
Will Tyr's hammer work for that? Using his.
I was going to use like the one that he had around his neck that was,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to use like the legendary item for that.
Okay.
I was going to say, just, as it goes. I was going to say, so as you set it up, the small amulet token is placed and is currently weighted higher. Sorry, weighs less than the thick candle placed on the other side of the scales. And as you light the candle and begin reciting prayers to Tyr, so on and so forth, keeping hold of the... I've lost the words. Keeping hold of the spirit to send to the afterlife. And as the candle burns level with the amulet of Tyr, you then extinguish the candle and allow the scales to rest at even.
Lovely. When saying the prayers, I'd like to say them all in Celestial, even though so far Doris has only used that to swear out of anger.
Fair enough.
Just to give it a little mystical touch to it.
There's a few people around who are surprised by someone speaking Celestial, but nothing too bad. Because I assume you're just doing this out where the body was laying.
Well, it was laying in the church somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So, with that, I was in the church grounds. They put him with the rest of the dead. The matron is going to touch you gently on the shoulder and say, "A lovely rendition. Now, do you have any specific requests for his belongings and person? Can you guys remember?
Well, I believe
he wanted to be buried with his hammer.
The rest of his belongings, I'm sure we can leave them to a good cause. If you'll just leave them with us.
Very well. If you want to take
his coin with the church, like pay for a decent headstone and that.
Oh, well, yes, Morland, what a great idea.
Very well. As I say, do you still have Merrick's inventory list after it was cleaned out before? Matt?
Chat.
I was going to say, I know you guys went through it. I know you left a lot of stuff.
Oh.
So I was just going to give anyone a last chance to look over it.
Why is there an upside down naked man in the chat?
That would be Chris. I still don't quite understand that one myself.
I'm scrolling up and up and up.
That's fine. I think everything of value was taken, including I'll say I found the 2 items in the end as well.
Dragon Scroll was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
The Dragon Scroll and freaking these 2 were sitting in your inventory as well. So I assume someone took those to trade.
Totally.
Yeah.
I can't remember who took them exactly, but someone took them, I'm sure.
No, I don't remember.
I don't think anyone in their party can use either of those items.
That's why I assume they were taken to trade later. Okay.
Perhaps we could just donate these to the church. They look like a paladin could make good use of them.
I mean, yeah. As I say, you can leave them with the church if you want to.
Or we could put them in the bag of holding in case one of our characters dies and another one.
We need some heavy armor.
Technically, Morland can use both of them, but he couldn't use the shield and the Buster Axe.
Well, in that case, we shall put them.
Wait, you can use heavy armor?
I can use just about any armor.
Yeah, they're like fighters, kind of.
I thought they were only medium and shields. I didn't realize they're heavy.
Bear with me. Oh no, I do apologise. It is only medium armor. I can't wear heavy.
I thought so.
My apologies. So I can't use, but I can use the. I could theoretically use the shield.
Yeah, fair.
But again, I
Okay.
wouldn't then be able to use the big ass axe.
Yeah, but you're enjoying the big ass axe.
I do enjoy turning people into jam.
Fair enough. So you're going to leave those there, or do you want to take them possibly to trade to Salaxia
We'll put
later?
them in the bag of holding.
Fair enough. Okay, so we'll say those are in the bag. I don't
While
think there's
looking at
anything.
the priest.
Just fucking spiky chainmail and
I
a
hope
big
the priest was
shield.
listening to this entire conversation about whether or not we give them.
Oh, I'm going to say she kept a respectful distance while you were picking over a corpse.
Oh, I imagine it was picked over long before we got here. Like,
I imagine it was, but okay. So with that, where are we heading to next? Or-
We've got 4 days to kill before old minstrel can speak again. So,
mean-
I suppose this
do you want
issue
to
in
go and
Lakeview.
have a look at
would
it?
be- Yes,
Hmm.
perhaps we could leave minstrel here so he can rest in Godhome while we.
Not a
head
bad
over to
idea.
Lakeview.
Fair. As you head, I was going to say, how are you planning to get to Lakeview Town?
How far is it? How far? Turn off the
Okay.
character voice.
No worries. I will double check the scale and give you a rough time estimate if you were walking.
Not
It
far.
doesn't look far. It's like the next town over.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
DM
Town
map. Zooming out.
Interesting fact about Lakeview Town is you can actually view a lake when you're in
Really?
the town itself. Yeah.
It's about 24 miles north.
Okay, so it's like a good day's walk.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could do it in a good day if you were hiking and setting a reasonable pace.
Well, I suppose we could hire some animals.
I mean,
If we take a day there, a day to sort out whatever's wrong with it, and a day back. Still gives us a day spare.
A day to relax without minstrel's incessant talking. Sounds lovely to me.
Could do
You have 3 days away from him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that young
well,
scamp should die
I
more
was going to say, at this point, Minstrel is going to quietly duck and shy his head to the back of the party.
Right,
He's
see you
just
in a bit.
not. He's just not able to deal with this at the minute. After being killed and brought back.
I imagine it's a hell of a hangover.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Okay. I'm also going to be saying if anything comes to combat, he's just run.
Well, again, we
leave him
could
here.
theoretically leave him in Godhome.
Yeah, we'll leave
Yeah.
him in Godhome.
Should we, as he's not the biggest fan of the holy types, should we leave him at an inn to drink his problems for a couple of days?
I was going to say, good option.
Do we kind of know enough about the magic that we're like, oh, he's gonna feel real bad for a couple of days, like it's a traumatic thing, or are we just like, he's broken? Why?
I think the priest explained he wouldn't feel too well for a little while.
Oh yeah,
So-
the weird
so you-
creepy
Yeah, the
Leave him
weird,
in.
creepy sea priest.
Yeah,
Right,
nothing
so
creepy about that at all.
Yeah.
do we know the way to the pub?
Actually, I'm trying to think. Doris has been there before to the Holy Arms, which is the only tavern you're familiar with in this town.
Mm-hmm.
So you head there to have a quick look around. There we go, perfect. As you do, oh, he's not. You begin seeing various people, somewhat unsure of someone of Morland's size walking through, and in fact, several of the paladins having a brief word with each other as you pass.
If Morland notices this, he will cast Disguise Self and make himself 3 feet shorter.
What's your passive?
Perception.
Yeah.
Not that
5,000.
good.
I
Like 12.
12 isn't bad.
Oh, do they do it within vision?
Within visual range, you can see it.
I can tell exactly what they're saying because of lip reading.
Nice. They're discussing briefly if anyone remembers signing him into the city, for those of you who've been here before.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah.
You know.
Pipes has never been there, I don't think.
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't know about it either.
It's okay. Neither of you two look suspicious at all.
Well, I suppose we'd better get
Morland
out.
will like get out of sight somewhere, like an alleyway, and just sort of cast disguise stealth to look like a human version of himself at about 5.5 feet tall in priest robes.
Fair enough. Probably a good idea.
And skipping through the streets.
Fair enough. Just completely ignoring it.
Playing his liar.
Oh dear. Okay. So as you drop Minstrel off at the Holy Arms, and I assume pay for a room for him to rest for a couple of days.
Morland will cover it.
Fair enough. It's 50 gold for 4 days.
What?
What?
It is expensive here.
I'm sure.
Bear with me.
Has the gold, the famous bard.
Let me see what gold Morland, who famously doesn't take the gold after encounters, has.
Is the tavern keeper here?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I've got that.
Fair enough.
Morland will cover it.
Fair enough.
I'd like to go up to the tavern keeper as well and be like, plunk down 400 gold on the side and go. And if you could hire some people to look after him and make sure he doesn't get hurt while we're around, see that done, please.
Very well.
Hurt while we're around. What are we going to do to him?
Save me from myself.
That's hiring some different people.
Fair enough. The town is going to say, very well, I'm sure I can get the town guards, or does he need a nursemaid? He says, looking at the badly weakened minstrel.
I wouldn't put a poor nursemaid through that, to be honest. Like, there's going to be some confusion.
Fair enough.
Well, he is a child.
Yeah, it's a 16-year-old at this point.
Yeah, but at 16 he could be an adventurer. He's been on his Pokemon journey for 6 years. Like,
that's a terrifying thought. How do they not have more dead kids in the Pokemon?
Because they don't go alone into the tall grass.
Fair enough.
Everyone wonders what they eat in the Pokemon world.
To start with, rats and pigeons.
Oh.
Those Mareeps.
They'd be tasty lamb.
Tasty Magikarp.
Oh dear. Right. So, as you then deposit Minstrel and have arranged for him to be looked after, you begin to get a few pieces of information before heading. Actually, were you going to try and hire an animal, or are you just going to walk over to Lakeview?
I'd like to attempt to hire a donkey.
A donkey?
A donkey.
A donkey!
Or a mule.
Fair enough.
I'd like to purchase a couple of bottles of holy water before we
fair enough.
Town as well.
As I say, as you head towards the markets, generally holy water is being sold by literally almost every vendor.
It's a cleric town.
Yeah. You'll be set back. As I say, you can use the DMG. You know the price card for that.
It's 25 gold pieces a bottle. I know how much holy water is.
Yeah, you know how much that one is. You can do that. Also, you've DM'd more times than I have. You know the cost of holy water.
Doris can theoretically now make it if she buys a bunch of silver powder.
True.
Yeah, I was going to wait until you'd bought a load and then make some.
Well, yeah, both. Like we're dealing with undead in the water supply. Like more holy water might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I was going to say. So, as you now head towards the nearest thing you can find to a stables is a smattering of small buildings on the outside of the Druids Park. As you head towards them, you're going to notice several tall-ish individuals standing around, fairly scantily clad. Mostly men with long beards. Just how you imagine druids.
Hello, druids. I'd like to buy a donkey.
I was going to say, we don't really sell the animals here. They're here for the purpose of, teaching the younger druids how to shapeshift. Of course, if you wanted to rent one of us, we'd be happy to pull a cart or whatever you need.
I mean, that'd do nicely if you have a cart.
If you were planning to sit on the donkey for an entire journey, it would probably tire out more quickly. You'd be almost better off walking. They're not fast creatures. I assumed you had something and you wanted it to pull.
Right. Well, we'll. Right. Well, we'll hire a cart then.
I was going to say, you cast your memory back to the last time you used this exact same idea.
Yeah.
And
No, that wasn't me. That was.
Oh no, of course, that was a different character. Yeah, no, can't even do that. I don't think Doris was there for that either.
No,
So,
don't think so.
none of you were there for that. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, you'll have to try and find somewhere to rent a cart. We'll have an investigation roll on that one.
Okay.
There must theoretically be somewhere to.
I'm
There's probably somewhere.
I was going to say, you head back to the merchants just to the north and think, they must bring goods in on carts. Surely one of them will have one for sale, or for rent or purchase, whichever. You very quickly find there's young boys pulling... Interestingly, you notice there are young, strong men pulling the carts, not animals, as they come into the market.
Oh.
Oh, it's a rickshaw town.
Oh my!
No,
there's so
they're
many
full-size
strong
carts.
men.
Didn't realise Pyre was that way inclined, but okay.
Character development.
Character development. Explains why he's been following Minstrel around,
I'd like to approach a young, strong man.
pulling one of these carts.
Greetings, sir. How much is it to rent you for, say, a few days?
The man is going to give you a quick look over, as if taking to the understanding of what you're asking for at first, given the way you phrase that, before saying,
More just means I would like to take to Lakeview Town and back.
"Ah, I see."
Yes, of course.
Given
Not for a saucy weekend.
Given the size of your group, you'll probably need 2 carts and 2 of us pulling them. We could gladly do it for 20 gold to take you there and back.
Seems all right to me.
As he calls out to his friend, who I'm going to arbitrarily name on the fly, Horatio.
Oh, Horatio.
Hello,
Oh
Nelson.
my.
Can we have those other 2 boys named Dancer and Prancer?
Yeah, why not? As I say, we've got a little past Christmas at this point, but we might.
Donna and Blitzen are booked for the week.
Oh, dear. Okay, so they're going to set up after they've dropped off their current loads and lay out the back of the carts as comfortably as they're going to get. They put down some basic sheets and blankets just to try and make it a bit less. These were good carts 30 seconds ago. Before inviting the group up onto them. As they then begin, I assume you guys want to head straight out?
Yeah, but other than grabbing the holy water, I have nothing to shop for in town.
Fair enough. We'll say you sorted that while they were setting the carts up. After they set the carts up and you head straight to the north, following the best trails which lead between the 2 places along the edge of the river. It's a pleasant enough journey. You can see off to your west the large tower that fell from the sky a short while ago. Currently sitting from this distance, you can probably take a rough guess. Who's got the highest passive perception?
So I'm at 12.
14.
17.
17's pretty good. I'm going to say, Doris, you're going to work out it's about 12-ish stories tall.
It's about 12 stories tall.
Fairly sizable building.
How did you know that?
Oh,
So you can see it.
dearie me. This
Cat.
building in front of us seems to be fairly sizable.
Oh. Can we go in?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't recognise that much.
I was going to say, the tower's the one which Pyre you previously investigated. It's tied to the other 4 towers.
Well, yes, I've already investigated this one. It's tied to the other 4 towers.
Oh.
So we haven't cleared it then.
No, that's not one of the ones you've been in yet. That's the one you're getting the keys to open.
Oh,
So that's the big one at the end.
I was trying to remind you where it is before I have to ask you later. Because you won't remember.
no.
Oh dear.
So
Anyway.
had we gathered that we need to do the 4 towers first, and then that unlocks the 5th tower?
Yeah, you started collecting the keys after working that one out.
See.
So this is a full 5th element kind of deal.
I mean, I'll leave that up to Pyre to answer. Are you still there?
He's in shock and awe at the tower.
Oh,
Fair enough. Okay.
It's busy counting the windows to confirm it's 12 stories tall.
Fair enough. As you head now into Lakeview Town, you notice there's nobody here. And I mean nobody. You get to the maybe 400 feet out of town, you can see no one. There's plenty of nice areas around and just no one in them.
I mean, with what's going on, people are probably sick or
We've
hiding
been here before.
away.
You've not been here before, no.
Oh.
As I say, you kept mentioning it and didn't come.
How far down are we?
You're about 400 yards out, and the 2 drivers have stopped at this point, given the slightly unnatural amount of quiet that's coming from this place.
All right, can I send Puck out, have him do an investigate, and then come back and tell me what he
Sure.
sees?
Okay, you send your, I believe he's your owl familiar?
He is, yeah.
Fair enough. Or was he an osprey or something? I think it was an owl.
There's an owl. That Ballador's was an osprey.
That's the one. Okay, as you send the owl out across the city, or across the town, the entire place is about 14 or 15 buildings in total. A few of them are larger. You don't see anyone at... I'll say, roll an investigation check as well for the owl.
Oh, God. All right.
It's a +2 to intelligence, +2 to proficiency, so 4.
4.
Close enough. 19 will do it pretty much regardless. At first, Puck isn't going to notice any
Sorry.
any particular outlines of bodies or anything else moving around the town. But as he gets closer and closer to the water, he's going to notice that not only are there bodies laying facing away from it, but there's actually several decomposing bodies in the water at the bottom of the waterfall. Looks like something's gone very wrong here.
I assume he has to have flown back to me because I think I have to be
This is
able to
after he's
see-
flown back, yeah, now.
Yeah.
And told you, because he can't do it otherwise.
My goodness, it appears the whole town's in the lake.
I mean, strange time for a swim.
Yes, well, they're not swimming. They're underwater and they're not coming back up.
It'd be, well, even if they drowned in the lake, it doesn't make them undead. What the hell would have caused all the undead pollution?
Undead? What makes you think they're undead?
That's what I felt from that water down in Godhome.
Yes. Well,
Undead corruption.
I feel like this wasn't some simple poisoning or famine. There's something afoot here, and it would be very risky to just walk overtly straight into the village. We have to come up with a plan.
Well, I mean, best one is try and get bodies out of the lake as soon as we can.
That means going into the lake.
Sounds like
Anybody-
a good plan to me.
Anybody got anything that help us get down there or get back up? I'm not a bad swimmer, but
So, no.
I mean, I have a cloak of the manta ray, but I'm not mentioning it.
Fair enough. I was gonna say. Oh, I should pull one.
Doris, you got a water fish spell or something?
Oh no, my dear, I don't really peddle in such inane arcane arts.
I had nothing at that fancy university about how to, have fun at bath time.
No, yes, you're right. I probably should have learned something more useful than just burning things. But
I mean, if you can burn the corruption out of the lake, that'd be real handy. But
well, why don't we walk to the shore of the lake and then see what's happening?
reasonable enough.
Okay, as you head towards the lake, you begin to see the people who were the bodies which were not inside the lake were definitely fleeing from it, as if something suddenly changed.
And that's obvious that they were running away.
That everybody is laying face down away from, as if they were literally sprinting and then keeled over dead.
Well,
which is outside the lake.
It appears that this water is extremely dangerous. So I
And
myself
apparently quite frightening.
That spell you learnt, Doris. Perhaps we could cast it here to bless these bodies so they don't come back and try and eat us or something.
That's
Wait, Doris, you can talk to him, can't you?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Seems a good place to start is talk to the witness.
Although you'll be damned if you think that I'm walking anywhere near that lake where those bodies are.
Morland will go fetch one.
Fair enough. As you get closer and closer, you can smell
an adult, not a child. Like I want someone of some.
Fair enough. As I say, you notice the bodies are unusually decayed at this point. Given actually you don't know the time frame. You notice the bodies are fairly decayed at this point.
All I need is an intact head.
Fair enough. You grab the nearest adult-sized body, not wanting to venture too close to the lake, but you do notice there is a definite smell of rot coming down, and your passive perception was 12, right?
Yeah, but I've got like keen senses and stuff, so smell and hearing, I believe.
Fair enough. Something was sight and hearing. You're going to hear something drop over the waterfall, but you're not going to see what it was. You just hear a loud splash or something about, you would guess, I don't know, body or large rock size falls over the edge of a waterfall.
He's just as he's like picking up this because he's like just going to turn back to the others and go, either of you see what that was?
I don't know how close they got, so
seen nothing.
Well, close enough to see the bodies, but like if it was loud enough to make, like it's big enough to make that sort of splash, like.
Pan will be visibly afraid of the water.
Yeah, something's up here.
Something just came over that waterfall. Didn't catch what it was though. Can I see any movement under the water if I try and look over in that direction? Is there anything?
Make a perception check.
Can I stand away from the coast behind Doris and then walk into Puck and then try and fly close to the surface of the water and have a look?
Okay. Yes, you can. With the 4, you're going to need to. With that, you're going to need to do something to spot this. Okay. So that you're going to, as Puck flies over, he's going to see what appears to be a large, just hunk of flesh that's fallen over the side. And I mean large, like small horse-sized. But just one solid mass of flesh.
What kind of flesh does it look like?
I was going to say, it looks quite gamey. It looks fairly...
Is
I was
dark
gonna say,
meat or is
it's purplish in colour.
does it have suckers?
It does not have suckers.
Does it
Oh,
have any claws or anything?
Not on this piece. It's
Can I
just...
investigate it?
Yeah, sure, make an investigation check.
I assume I'm using my investigation because I'm looking at
Yeah,
it.
you're looking through directly at this range.
Oh.
12. Good thing you did. It looks to be fairly sinewy and decaying. It's definitely a piece of undead flesh. But beyond that, you're not going to tell exactly what kind of undead it's from.
And it came from above the waterfall.
Yes.
I guess how high up is that?
To get to the top of the waterfall where it runs over, you reckon...
Irrelevant, I can fly.
Fair point. Morland will be able to fly you up. You do notice there is a path actually just leads up, so you assume people can walk up it.
Fine.
Perhaps it's safer to fly. Perhaps the path is trapped.
There is that.
Up and away.
How many people can you fit on your buttocks?
What do you guys all weigh?
I'm very small.
I think most of you are pretty lightweight.
I should imagine none of them are over 200 pounds.
Weigh
Pounds,
180.
130.
Yeah. So even with gear, I'm going to be able to carry all three of you.
Okay.
One in each arm and one on my back. Like, I can just go.
I shall move you as flying. Hang on. Okay. And centering you to the new view. Make it. Okay. I found a rather nice map for this bit. So you can now see. Yeah. You can now see roughly where you are. It's quite a big map, and there's a reason for this. Pyre, you're not flying. Stay near Morland or you fall. I don't know if you have Featherfall prepared. As you come to... Yeah, dead. You can't move.
Swan dive.
Edit. Ownership. You changed your name since the last one. Are you on as Mr. Pipes or Pan?
Mr. Pipes, I think it is.
Okay, so you're on as that. That's fine.
What is my movement speed? Yeah, my movement speed's 45 feet now.
Okay.
I'm so fast.
Pyre, would you stop duplicating yourself? Okay, so just stay for 1 minute. Harder. As you come over the edge, you can see smaller pieces as the river leads up towards its inevitable source. And passive perception highest, I believe, was
17.
17. Doris, you're going to see something moving from one of the rock faces.
there's something moving from one of the rock faces.
And excuse me while I snapped to visible, because I thought you were going to have to walk up this.
Excuse me a sec. I don't quite have vision on it yet.
Okay,
Don't
it should
have
now
visual-
show up
don't
just
have visual-
over the far side of the river. You can see a large creature peeling itself off the rock face. Small rotting pieces of flesh just coming loose. As
Morland, please
It
don't
unfurls bat-like wings and begins looking towards your party.
I don't like it.
I will try and go back below the level of the waterfall and along,
Okay, so you want to try and come up over here.
and then try and get in behind these bushes here, and try and
Okay. You're going to
get
try
out of
and...
its line of sight, along, and then up behind the trees.
Fair enough. Okay,
Lose it a little bit.
I'm going to say make a stealth check against its perception.
That seems reasonable. What's my stealth?
You've got to beat 15.
Okay, I can possibly beat that. No.
He is going to spot you and he is going to begin moving, so we shall call that any surprise round lost.
Oh.
As he's going to begin moving 40 feet out to begin to come out to meet you, and at which point a loud, ear-piercing roar is going to fill the area. I would like everyone to make a wisdom saving throw as they unload from Morland.
Oh.
No.
I'm going to use my portent.
Okay.
Roll a total of 20.
Okay, you pass.
Uh,
It's a flat 20 for me, so... 120.
Well, wisdom.
10.
10 is unfortunately a fail. You are now considered frightened.
Thought so. Yeah.
But-
That makes sense because
Can
he is.
you,
4.
You are also considered frightened of this
I thought
gigantic
I-
creature.
can you
Thought
please
I
refer
might
to
be.
it as spooked?
Okay, spooked.
I am
12
aggressively rude.
12 for Doris.
I rolled
Doris,
in the
you
wrong
are
chat.
all. It's fine. You are also frightened.
Wait,
You're also
I'm the only
spooked.
one who's not spooked.
Yeah, the only one who's not scared is the wizard. Okay, this could be fun. Okay, at which point we will have initiative rolls.
Checking everything today.
So it's a new character. You're going to need to for a little while.
Initiative rolls. I haven't got
Oh.
anything to unspook people.
5. So Doris.
Every time I do a
Oh,
silly
Okay.
name for it, I roll really badly.
speedy boy.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Pyre.
Makes sense.
What is my initiative?
The only one not scared.
2. 4.
Damn.
I am rolling some garbage, but I'm getting it out of the way before I hit things.
I don't want to get
Fair
killed
enough.
by a zombie dragon.
Zombie dragon.
Zombie dragon. Do, 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 do.
Okay, Pyre. I'm going to say you get a free action.
Oh, you do get a disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls when it's within sight.
Yes, it's currently not in sight. So you have a free action, which you can try to help one of your friends out of this if you want to.
How would I do that?
It's basically by taking the help action to try and snap someone out of it. They would then roll with advantage another save against the number they need.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that with Morland.
Oh, actually, if it's spells and magic, I get advantage on that anyway.
It's frightful presence. It's under an action,
Yeah.
but it's not a spell.
Alright,
Yeah, it's an ability.
that's fine.
Yeah, so I'm going to attempt to wake Morland out of it.
Okay, so Morland, roll with advantage. Wisdom save.
Still not
Oh,
one of my
awesome.
good say.
Also, Pyre, you're immune to the fright for the next 24 hours.
Oh,
So once you're out of it, it's not too bad.
he can't touch me now! Except maybe with his teeth.
18!
is a pass. Morland is no longer frightened. Okay, Pyre, you may now begin your actual turn.
Alright, I'm going
Sorry.
to...
This is
move-
thick
I'm gonna
foliage, but you
bonus
can
action.
move through it as difficult terrain for the record, because you do not currently have line of sight.
Alright, I'm going to haste Morland,
Okay.
and then I'm going
Oh.
to bonus action, click my heels, and then move to there.
Fair enough. So you are now heavily obscured.
I presume it is double speed, isn't it? The boots of speed.
Mhm.
Let me just double check.
I'm pretty sure it doubles your movement range.
And I believe if I'm frightened, I can't move closer, can I?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I am in. You haven't done the initiative in the.
Oh, I've just got it on my table next to me like I normally do.
Oh, okay.
I just write them out in order and just move down the list. I have a pen.
Old school.
You know, you gotta do some things. Whatever you find easiest. Anything else for you, Pyre?
Oh no, I've done everything.
Okay, so
Bonus
moving
action.
on to Pan, you're up. I will do the initiatives while we do this since you want them on the thing.
Oh, can I billow my cloak as well as I click my heels?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Swoosh.
Pan is cowering in fear. I'll give some bardic inspiration to Morlan, I think.
Fair enough.
What is it? D8 at the moment.
That's just a pie that buffs the
Yeah.
one fighter.
So,
D8.
every so often you have to.
Help me, Morlan the Brave.
Are you resistant to fire, by the way, Morland?
Nope.
I would recommend trying to find something that does with Pyre in your group.
Yeah. Well, that would be a good idea.
Mm,
Get you immune to fire, then. I think I.
That might be fun.
Okay. So is that everything for you, Mr. Pipes?
Think. Well, I'll just shift it back into the trees a bit.
Fair enough.
I'm scared.
Fair enough. Okay, we now come to the big boy, who is going to begin by moving his flight speed towards you in a large bound.
Jesus.
Yep.
To be fair, it's fast, but it's not as fast as Morland right now.
No, it's kind of ludicrous.
Oh yeah, my because of haste, my movement speed is currently 90 feet.
Jesus.
It was like
Okay.
Morland just like
Jittering
Revving.
everywhere.
revving. It's like hasted bardic inspiration, just revving up in the corner. Like
Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh, and he's going to begin by using his breath weapon,
yeah, that's
is
reasonable.
a 60-foot cone from his edge.
Oh,
There. So Morland and Doris, con saving throws.
Oh,
Oh.
my just out of it. Look at that. Perfect.
oh no.
This could go badly for Doris.
Natural 20.
Oh, damn.
You succeed and take half damage.
Natural one.
Morland, natural one. You fail thoroughly and take double damage. No. Okay, so 12. Might take me a minute to roll.
Not a good sign.
10, 14, 28. 30, 6, 9, 42. 45 total. So cut in half for Doris.
Yeah, Morland doesn't look good.
Oh,
That would have killed Doris.
yeah, it would have. 45, so that'd be 23 damage?
Cold damage if it makes a difference to anyone.
Cold? Oh.
Yeah, 45, 22. You round down unless stated otherwise.
Okay.
There's a new rule they added in Tasha's.
15 less.
Okay. Next turn, Doris.
Bonus action, Shillelagh.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna move.
You are still frightened, so you can't come towards it.
Oh, yeah. You
Although
know,
wisdom save at the start of the turn, I'll say instead of the end.
hmm,
Your life saved by that.
wisdom.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, I didn't roll.
Oh, it actually doesn't matter
Oh, yeah,
too
you
much
can roll
what I'm
again
going to do.
Fair
I'm going to try and cast Hold Monster on it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There's a Wisdom saving throw, please.
Count me up.
Suspend.
Always a good one against freaking undead. It's an 8.
Always
Oh.
going against monsters.
It fails.
Wisdom saving throw.
It is paralyzed. And at the end of each turn, it can make another one.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Zebled.
It's
Okay.
dead.
Wrong one. Red for dead, remember?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's paralyzed. It means I get advantage on all my attacks.
Fair. Yeah, you do. Okay.
Just
Pan,
wait,
that
does damaging it give it an extra save?
you would have to ask
No.
Doris.
No,
I know
it
some
just
of the holds do.
no,
Pan-
it's just paralyzed. I think they're the like the charm ones.
Yeah.
Okay, Pan,
That's
with that,
what
you
I
are
was-
unfortunately still frightened.
Thought so, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, moving on. Morland, your turn.
Morland looking a little bit worse for wear, having taken just over half his HP in one shot.
Yeah, that's
Pull-
gonna.
Pulls out the axe, just lifts off the floor with the boots, and just whizzes in at this thing. Listen, I'm frightened. So, bear with me.
No worries.
bet you wish you had a bear with you.
Nah, mate. Bears would only slow me down. I just have to remember how much I add to this ridiculous axe.
Fair enough. It's quite a big chunk of thing.
Yeah, I just got.
Out of
Wait,
interest.
can we assume I put a fireball in Loach? Even though I
We
don't-
can, yes.
Good, thank you.
28 to hit on the first attack.
That is a hit.
Would you like me to roll all 4 attacks together, and then I will just
Then
roll
just
a
do the damage.
buttload of
at the end,
damage?
yeah. That's fine. Yeah, you can do that. That is a hit.
5 to hit.
That is a hit. That is a crit.
Natural 20. So 5 times this damage.
Craig, I'm really sorry.
Mhm.
Is he within 5 feet?
He is.
Because if it is, if something's paralyzed, then everything's a critical hit when it's a melee attack.
Fair. So all of those hit.
Oh,
And crit.
so that's
And
8
Doris,
lots of
you
damage.
are no longer frightened.
Oh,
8 lots of damage. Go for it.
Okay, hang on. I need to do some maths.
I need to get a calculator. Because
Why-
this could very well just tear this thing to shreds. Also, could you roll the fire damage separately for me?
I can indeed. So what was the fire damage versus the... The fire damage is the 2d8, isn't it?
Yes.
So
So in total, that crits as well. 2d8 times 8.
is I roll 16d8 fire damage.
Yep. So you can start with that one.
66.
Okay. Now roll for the slashing damage.
Right, the slashing damage is even more fun.
Slashing damage is even more fun, but marvelously.
8, 16, 24 d12.
What?
Yeah, it's a big crit with that axe.
Yeah, because it's 3d12 because I've got my belt of fire giant strength on. It's the maximum this axe can do. Plus, hang on, because I need to add. I only add my strength bonus for 8, 16, 24, 32. I'm adding 32. Sorry, no, it's only 28 because I'm not in wear form.
Fair.
I'll take the extra
Like
4.
it's not
I'll
easy.
take the extra. I'll take the extra 4 off.
Holy
12 damage.
I did not. Okay. I was going to
That is-
say, I was thinking you would probably survive this. However, I have to revise my statement.
I assume it took double damage from the fire if it's an ice dragon as well.
It does not take double damage from the fire, it takes half.
Okay.
But that's
Okay.
not the point.
So even with half damage, that is 245 damage in 1 round.
Yeah, it's dead, by the way. How do you want to do this?
Why couldn't we have done this with the Kraken?
I was about to say, like, this was a thing apparently. Like, hold monster. Good
Kraken
job, Doris.
immune to being paralyzed.
Yeah, they can't be held by magical effects.
That was it.
I think I
That would
tried
make
and
that-
it didn't work.
Possibly.
And we all laughed
We
at you
tried
because
to.
you're a noob. Now
We
look.
tried to I tried to sentinel attack it and we couldn't reduce its speed.
Mm.
I was going to say, condition immunities are a thing with this, but this one doesn't have them. So,
Yeah.
how do you want to
Morland-
tear the poor beast to death?
Morland just with like bits of ice just shattering off as he takes off, having taken the full brunt of that breath attack. You just see this blur of brownish fur and the grey-black cloak as the creature's eyes are trying to track Morland as he flits around it, and you just see these streaks of fire appearing across it. And then Morland just lands back next to Doris and goes, "Give it about 2 seconds."
As it just falls to pieces and erupts into fire.
Just done.
Okay, Well, that was probably the easiest experience you're going to get all night.
That saved a bit of time.
Yeah, that's like I took a nasty hit, but I think I made up for it.
I'm going to emerge from the bush. Well, good job.
Morla just looks over at you. It's like, I like this spell.
So,
What's it?
sorry,
Jittering.
I imagine Hayes just like having way too much coffee. Like,
Fair enough. I did put this encounter together quickly, but that took so much less time than I thought.
my apologies. You should never have given me this axe.
That's fine. The axe is a good piece, and they had to kill something quite strong for.
I had hold person ages ago, but I think my save was really bad, and it kept on failing, or like we weren't fighting a lot of humans.
Fighting humans is rarer in this one. Okay, as the beast now falls to the ground into pieces, to be honest.
Morla will start trying to gather the pieces so they don't go into the water if you can.
Fair enough.
I'd like to,
Make a strength check to try and drag the pieces away from the water.
Really?
I actually know you can push with your ridiculous limit, can't you? Yeah, you can just push the pieces out one at a time.
Like I can do it, but like,
Also,
do you like athletics?
It's fine. Your total push weight makes it irrelevant with that ridiculous belt. Okay. So with that, anyone who's looking at the dragon,
What's left of it?
Yes.
make a nature check.
I would also, after this, like to send Puck up to the end of the river to see if there's a cave or anything.
Fair enough. We will start with the nature checks to see if you can work this one out. That's a nat 20 for Pan. So
Oh.
he's got it sussed.
This is why you bring bards for things.
Let's say luck. Oh. So Pan, you're going to determine that it was in fact a silver dragon out before it's decaying. No, you didn't meet the silver dragon before.
Nope.
Higher, you're going to work out it looks grey to you. That's about what you got from that for the colour, and you're not quite sure what's turned into thing. Pan, you reckon something's been cast onto this creature. A nasty, nasty spell.
Who? Me.
Yes. No one else has bothered rolling, so I'll leave it there since we've already got that. You can disseminate the information if you want to. And going on to Pyre, make a perception check with the owl. Oh no, you're walking into it as your perception. But you still get the advantage because you're an owl eyes.
I'll take that. 1.
Really?
Oh,
14. Okay.
probably
well,
should have actually done that
you're-
roll right.
I was going to say, as you head up the...
14.
Either way. 14. As Puck heads up the river, keeping an eye out for an entrance, he's going to spot, or I suppose you're actually keeping an eye out for the entrance because you're controlling it, aren't you? You're going to spot, first off, a small cavern, and then disappearing over the edge of a cliff, the ends of a long, bony tail.
How deep is this water?
This water's probably about 5 foot deep at the deepest parts, and 3 or 4 feet. You can see the source actually from where Puck is currently hovering.
Can I make a boat with fabricate?
Did you take the bag of holding from Minstrel? Because he has a collapsible boat in there. If the answer is no, you left Minstrel with a bag of holding. Fair enough. Fabricate, I think you can make a boat. It just has to be within certain... Hang on. Let's check spells.
There's a log there you could use for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's stuff about. Wooden
I
bridge.
have in my inventory, sorry, while you're doing that, Greg.
Hmm.
I have in my inventory, superior healing potion, ?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to take one of those and hope that it is.
Fair enough. So, that was the one you picked up a little while ago that was
I have 3 of them,
Fair.
but I'm also fairly resistant to nasty stuff. So
Fine. So as you drink the potion, to start with, roll the healing for a regular healing potion, and then make a con save.
yeah. 2d floor plus 2. 6 HP.
Okay, now make your con save.
1 second.
Dead.
Just gonna make sure I don't get any sort of bonuses to this for being a werewolf.
You're not in the werewolf form at the moment, but
No, but I get like basic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get my intelligence modifier to my strength, dex, and con saves.
fair.
As of level 10, I think it is my dark augmentation. It's what improves my speed, and I get my strength save is plus 10, my dex save is plus 9, and my con save, which I'm not proficient in, is plus 5.
Okay, I have sussed out the answer to the question of making a boat. As it turns out, you would need proficiency in water vehicles to make a boat with Fabricate.
All right, I won't make a boat. I will.
18 is a pass, so roll the same healing again, and one more con save.
Ooh, that's better.
That's a max.
Yeah, I will take that.
$13.
Not as good.
Not as great. With that, now roll 1d4.
Deefer.
What the fuck is this potion? 2.
I was going to say, so you heal for the 6 and the 10, and take 2 points of poison damage, as it is spoiled, unfortunately. Your body
Damn.
resisted most of the negative effects with the first one. However, it was basically the less of those you resisted, the more poison damage you would have taken.
Reasonable.
So
I
if you
can
failed
live
the
with
first one, it was 2d4.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
by
you
the way,
lose what you gain.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
basically.
cast Majama,
Fair enough.
and then I'm gonna swim.
To be fair, I was expecting more than just to carry everyone over to this cavern, unless you want to go by yourself.
Pan fancies the dip.
Oh, okay. If Pan's swimming, I'm swimming.
Fair enough. You swim up.
Orlan will float across the water surface because no one needs wet dog smell.
Fair enough. You head up to the mouth of the river. You hear small clinking noises of something moving across rocks, but nothing shows up. As you head towards the source, you can see the cavern you believe this creature's probably come out of. Inside...
Next to a Dracolich.
Oops, that's the previous one I was going to use as the model, but found a better picture.
Bye.
It's gone. So, as you head up towards the cave's entrance, the sound of clicking moving over the rocks is more pronounced, but not as severe, and then fades away. As you find the entrance to the cave, you can see that a small amount of light does appear to be coming from inside, as well as there are several discarded scales and various claw marks at the entrance. You establish this is probably where the dragon has come from.
Doris, there's a cave back here.
Oh, sorry, dearie. Let me trot along.
Swimming, are you? Here, I'll help you. Here, come up on this rock.
Morlan will come and just carry you if need be.
I was going to say, it's a long way with a 25 move speed in water.
Morlan will fly back and just like arm carry Doris, just, hunky fireman style.
I am going to send Puck into the cavern and have a scat at.
Okay, Puck is going to begin by recognize... Nope, Puck didn't see this before. Neither did you. So, as you head into the cave, it is currently being lit by some small glowing rocks on the ceiling. As well as around the cavern, there's a few interesting pieces here and there. Nothing that stands out in particular. There's a small platter currently covered with gold and platinum pieces, and there is a large
Gold.
chest. It seems that this creature was, at some point, intelligent enough to keep its things stored nicely away.
Okay. I am going to fly all the way up to the ceiling and investigate these glowing rocks.
Okay, make your investigation roll.
I want to go take a look at the gold.
Do you want to go in?
Well, do I know about the gold?
You don't know
No, Pi is looking with his familiar at this point.
Alright.
Oh,
Morlun will keep a lookout at the entrance.
Fair enough. So, Pi, you're going to establish these are sunstones. You've in fact seen them hanging in a shop window in Iridal as you've gone past. Once they've been left out in the sunlight a certain amount of time, they cast sunlight back out for a short distance.
are they like? Do they look like they're removable, or are they like an ore, like in the wall of the?
They
Okay.
look like they could be removed with a bit of effort. For a dragon, it would certainly be no issue at all to just pull them out and jam them back in.
All right, I'm going to come back into myself and say to Morlun, well, there's something in there. It looks potentially dangerous, as I wink. So we'd better go in first.
No worries, Doris, you help keep a lookout. You've got good eyes for your age. I'll go and help Pyre.
Oh, yes, no worries, my dear.
If you just
If they walk
come
off,
over here and give me a
Doris is
lift.
going to have a little nap because she nearly died.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, dear. Okay, inside the cave, you can see it's been well carved out as you stand around in it. As you get there, as you get a little further in, you see it's obviously got like a resting area set at the back. And you notice there's a cool breeze coming from somewhere. What do you want to look at first?
I'd like to make a survival check to see if there is any undead still in the area.
Fair enough. Make your survival check.
I get advantage on that. Because it's to find undead. And my survival is...
Dirty
30,
20.
20.
I'm gonna say you feel like something's just left, but you're not quite sure what. Just noting several small, like, puncture bone marks on the floor.
Looks like whatever it is nipped out for a minute. But we probably shouldn't stay too long.
Could be the dragon we've just killed.
Could. But does it look like the dragon? Like that dragon would have left these marks, or does it look something different?
It looks like
with
the holes are a little smaller than its claws to have left it, so it seems less likely it was the dragon.
Not big enough. Something else is up here.
Well, watch my back while I examine this treasure.
I'll say, what are you going to first, the coins or the chest?
The chest. Can I investigate for traps?
Yeah, sure. Make a no, it's investigation for traps, isn't it? Yeah.
Not that I can do anything if it is trapped.
I don't think anyone in the party can.
At this point, I'd also like to. Oh well, wait, we're being quiet, aren't we?
Hmm.
I'd like to send Puck out to Doris and Mr. Pipes to tell them to come in.
Fair enough. So, as Doris and Mr. Pipes, Doris waking up from her small nap as an owl lands on her shoulder. Why did you
Just
put that?
insistently flaps.
Yeah, I was going to say, just brushes against her ear until it really annoys her enough to wake her up. And being signaling towards the cave, just waving the other wing towards the entrance.
Like one of those people who guides in planes with the orange things, just like waving the wings like that.
Yeah, basically what I got.
Hoot, hoot, hoot.
Oh, dear. Okay, time to roll on the random table because I didn't have time to prep specific things.
Fine. Roll on items in a giant's bag. That's always hilarious. Some of them are rocking chair, giant teapot.
As Doris and Mr. Pipes enter the cave, I'd like to whisper to Doris, keep an eye on this satyr. He seems to have a great love of gold, and we need to share this fairly.
Right, you are, dear.
Oh.
Yes?
Okay.
I'm going to.
What are you two whispering about?
I'm going to cast Enlarge on Doris. No, not really.
Oh.
Big Doris.
Oh, dear. Okay, so the pile of gold is going to or the pile of coins, I should specify, is going to contain both the coins themselves. Do you want it in gold or platinum?
Platinum.
Platinum, okay. 750 platinum in total,
Jesus.
So we
as
divide that
well as a simple jar in which appears to be laid with gold and platinum edging.
750 divided by 4 is
Maths I can't do.
187.5.
0.5 and
So 187 platinum each and 50 gold
5.
each. Is it 10 to a... Yeah, 10 to a platinum, not 100. Oh, that would have been a mistake if I was trying to calculate the cost of something. Okay. So, you're inside the chest. As you open it up, you're going to find a number of reasonably sized gems, including jaspers, diamonds, and quartz. All you assume which would appear from the local area. The jaspers you would estimate are worth about 50 gold pieces each. The diamonds 300. And the quartz about 25. There's
Going to
2 of each.
I'm going to hand them to our bard friend and say, "Here, you like shiny things."
There is also a large, what appears to be pure silver platter with some etchings on it.
I would like to comprehend these etchings using my wizard.
I would have written down what those gems were if I knew I was going to get handed them.
Fair enough. Jasper, Jasper, quartz, and diamond. 50, 25, 300.
Okay.
So what do these markings say?
They appear to be a form of enchantment, which will allow the user to cast a simple a spell once a day, provided you have any individual piece of food. I assume you're using like Identify on it to work this out, yes?
No, I was reading the language.
Oh, fair. It's magic script, so it doesn't make any sense.
In that case, I would like to no, I just Arcana it.
Fair enough. Roll your Arcana check.
I'm a genius. Oh.
13. It's going to cast a spell when you use it. That's what you know, and you can probably suss out that based on the structure of the...
Oh.
Based on the structure... Actually, you have to use the new one. It's going to cast a spell. You can't work anything out anymore.
Right, I'm going to use a piece of... Oh, so I don't know that I need to use a piece of food.
No, you don't know how to activate it. You know it can cast a spell, but you don't know how
I'll
to...
cast Identify on it then.
Fair enough. So that was a long way around to go for this thing than I was expecting.
Are you casting Identify, or are you ritual casting Identify?
Ritual.
So he's going to spend the next 10 minutes polishing it.
We'll suggest that we not do that in whatever's lair this is.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, I got rather frustrated. This item was just getting beyond me.
We
right,
slayed that dragon. There's something else.
I'm going to
Slay
play that
that
in my
too.
pocket.
Yeah.
Have a look in the...
Whatever it was had the dragon outside like a guard dog. I don't like the idea of it coming home.
We could always just... I mean, if it's here and it's threatening... Well, if it's killed the town of Lakeview, it has to be gotten rid of. We could always just lay a trap for it and kill that as well.
Not a bad idea.
But first, let me continue searching this chest. Would you hold it, please? I hand Morland my pack mule the silver platter.
Fair enough. Beyond that, in here, you seem to notice there's now some weird odds and ends inside this chest, including things like children's dolls and toy soldiers carved out of pewter. And
Well, that's not disconcerting at all.
I was going to say, odds and ends, which you can't quite understand why they're in here. Oh, and one set of dice, which appear to be made from solid gold.
I'm just going to peer in at all the creepy dolls and shit and say, Doris, I believe this is your area of expertise. And then go back to identifying the platter.
6 shades of nope.
I would like to walk up and roll the set of dice.
Fair enough. Roll 2d6. Oh no, 3, sorry.
To D6.
Warlock things.
3d6.
Okay. So, as each of the dice is rolled, a different effect is going to come
Oh
off.
shit, I thought they were just going to be normal dice.
No, he mentioned them separately. They were clearly going to be a thing.
I was going to say, as with a 10, with double 4s, that takes prevalence as a joint effect. So, the entire area of this entire cave is now covered in magical darkness.
Oh, God.
shit. Where is everyone? I'm
Who
blind.
turned out the lights?
Gonna try
I'm
casting
gonna,
light,
I
and I guess it doesn't
assume-
work.
I assume I'm with touching distance of Morland, so I'm going to feel for his hands and grab the platter back.
Just in the dark, trying Oh, dear. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, light doesn't do anything, unfortunately. It's too low a spell.
All right, then I'm going to dimension door Morland out to this rock that Doris is sitting on.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to say, what the hell happened there?
Well, Doris will be inside with us.
Yeah, Doris is
Yeah.
currently inside, so you've just teleported back out to the entrance with 2 of you.
Perhaps you ought to fly back in and rescue them. I'll wait here and examine.
How big is the bubble of darkness? Like how big was this cave?
Feel out for
The
Doris.
bubble of darkness is about a 30-foot sphere.
I'm going to have Pan
Okay,
feel
so
out for
I can
try and find
yeah.
her.
Okay.
Doris,
Alright,
stay
can I
where you
find
are.
Doris?
Hello?
Oh,
I want to grab her and cast Dimension Door.
Has
Oh.
death taken me?
Okay.
Hello?
As you manage to find her and dimension door out, I'm just going to cover that one.
Dimension,
About 2 minutes later, the darkness recedes and you can see into the cave once again.
yeah.
We
Oh.
better go back in and deal with
Okay.
this creature.
I'm not going
Whatever it is that's breathing darkness at us.
I can't believe I can't believe you immediately picked up and rolled the dice.
okay. So this thing's got traps in its lair. We need to look carefully.
I'm going to roll them now.
There's a lot of effects.
Where
This
are
is-
the
this
dice?
is the
You still
new
got them,
deck.
Doris?
Oh,
So
well,
they're, still
this
on the,
is-
they're on the floor where she rolled them.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
I'm
as you head back into the cave, the 3 dice are still just sitting there.
I'm
gonna
going to
pick
roll them
up.
again.
No, can I grab them first?
I believe there's only one fair way to test that. Athletics check to see who can grab them first.
Okay.
Athletics.
Athletics checks from the warlock and the wizard.
Yep, that seems fair to me.
You'll find that I'm actually quite good at athletics.
Ooh.
Terrible at it.
Oh, the bard's going in for this too.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to roll them, so he's just charging in.
They're all just running for the
Oh,
I mean, it's a
I'll
flat.
grab them.
Hi, you grabbed the dice first. You're in luck.
Good.
Hi, you
Uh,
only just rolled above my athletics modifier. My
Um,
modifier is 11.
are these dice over 100 years old?
They are in fact over 100 years old.
All right. I would like to appraise them.
They are a magical item, so they're probably worth about 50,000 gold pieces or 5,000 platinum.
All right, I'm going to roll Arcana.
oh, I thought you were going to say you were going to roll the die.
Can't you determine its original purpose with your thing
yes.
if it's over 100 years old? Its purpose is for parlor games, so it will all give off different effects based on what you roll.
Oh, right, and I know this before
You knew this before you rolled Arcana.
I'm gonna turn to the party and smile, and then roll them on the floor.
Roll 3d6. 6 to 5.
What part of Monsters Lair do you people not understand?
6, 6, 5, and 3. Okay, so food is now going to appear with the 6.
Nice.
From the 5, you are going to get a set of colourful lights lighting up the ceiling.
Nice.
And from the 3, music is now playing in the background.
Party time.
Well,
General party music just playing, band only, no singing.
this is a most dangerous magical artifact and very valuable. I'd better keep hold of this for now as I put them in my pocket.
You can tuck
Looking
the
around, it's like, I thought we were setting a trap, not throwing in a freaking quinceañera.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, it's one of those weird items I came up with as a joke. I had no idea where to put it until just now. Fair enough.
I got Pan dancing a jaunty jig to it with an 18. So it's quite a good one.
Yeah,
Oh.
More than just face palming. Like,
oh dear. Yeah,
We've-
so you can
we've-
put them in
you
your
people ever
inventory.
laid a trap before?
You can put them in your inventory as party dice.
I love it.
What number do you roll for lines of blow in the bathroom? Like,
3 6s.
I've already put them in there. Oh,
Best item for a bard.
Yeah.
but so yeah, it's like I am the party.
I have a portable one in the form of 3 dice. As you put it into your bag, the effects all stop, by the way. They come from the dice.
No.
you appear to like this item a lot, but it's very dangerous, Mr. Pan.
It's not dangerous. It's fun.
If I give you
Darkness
these,
is not helpful.
if I give you these dice, promise not to use them in places of peril, such as this place.
I promise. Swear on my
I'm going to
life.
roll insight.
I was about to say someone in fact check
Listen,
him.
if it's true, you don't have to roll deception.
Well, depending on how high he.
Is it true?
I mean, yeah. I'm not planning on doing that.
He's not planning on like, walking into a boss's lair, just, let's have some music.
All right, I'll hand the magic party dice to Pan Pipes.
Fair enough.
You
I
laugh, but I literally had a character in a different game that was his go-to move.
But he did
Nice.
roll.
He had a special move called Ultimate Party Zone. It gave his allies like a +1 bonus to everything, so he just literally walked into boss lairs and went, "It's party time!" and launched Ultimate Party Zone, where little drones flew around, played music, and disco lights flashed.
Nice. That's one of those things that crops up and you're just like, really? Now? During the serious parts?
Oh yeah.
Minstrel's gonna love these.
Yeah.
Oh god, with the pair of bards like sat drunk in the tavern, rolling.
Rolling random effects, some of which will be quite disconcerting if people don't know they're coming. I will send
Like
you the full list.
darkness.
As I say, like the darkness, I will send you the full list after the session.
So this cavern we're in, what does it look like?
It looks like a
in terms
carved out-
of- You said it's blowing, so
A cool breeze is blowing from somewhere above the resting area.
all
At
right.
the
I'd
back.
like to use Puck to conduct an investigate to attempt to find the source of
Okay,
of this wind, not the smelly wind that's coming out of Moreland.
fair enough. As he
Told you no one likes wet dog.
Oh dear. As Puck heads over to the back of the cave, it becomes increasingly obvious that somehow a thin channel has been carved down from the top of the mountain. So the cool, snowy air from up higher is in fact blowing into this cavern, probably to keep the ice-based dragon cool during the rest of the time.
All right, I'm going to come out of Puck and say to the party, well, there's another way out of this place. It's up there.
Another way in.
I don't suppose you could track whatever beast it was that was here.
If it went out of there recently, probably. But if it's coming back in that way, it'd be a good choke point to set up like a snare or something.
Well, that's a fantastic idea. I would never have thought of that, but then I'm not a hunter, so.
That
Is
is
it
my
up in
last
the
name.
ceiling?
Sorry?
Is it up in the ceiling? Like,
Yeah,
is
it's
it
up in the ceiling, the entrance. The It's literally cut in like an air vent.
I would like to investigate to see whether the creature or whatever has gone out that way.
Okay, make your investigation roll.
Can I use survival because I'm trying to track it?
Yeah, sure. We'll let you use survival.
Is it undead?
It is in fact undead.
Because I get advantage if it's undead.
So you can roll with advantage.
Yay.
Oh, where was the dragon's corpse?
You pushed it out of the river a while ago.
Is it somewhere? Is it on the side there?
Mhm.
Oh, interesting.
16.
16. With a 16, you're going to establish you don't think anything's come through here. It looks like it's pretty narrow. Probably a couple of humans might have carved it.
Okay,
It's
it
literally-
looks like it's too small to get whatever that thing is out of it.
If it's been carved by humans, it's a structure. Therefore, is it 100 years old?
It is not.
Okay.
I just meant like human-sized people have like carved it down. I didn't mean...
Morland, could you perhaps come back down here and give me a lift up?
Yeah, no trouble. More than just flies back down.
So there's a hole in the ceiling that goes directly to
If
the
you
outside.
followed it all the way up, you can... Morland, did you fly all the way up?
I can do. Pie, do you want to go all the way up?
I do, sir.
Let's say.
Hang on tight, and we'll just go at full speed and just
Okay.
90 feet around.
It's a little tight getting through in places, so full speed is a risk, but you about manage to
Full
cover it.
speed while it's not tight. Like,
I was going to say, as you get to the top, you suddenly realize you're on top of a mountain and there's snow everywhere. It's pretty cold.
not a bad view.
Anything around?
Top of a mountain, there's not a lot here.
No monsters?
What's stopping the snow coming down?
It probably does.
Fair.
But whether it's like
they could have. I don't know if there was like a manufactured grate to stop the snow coming down. They could have been anything up there.
it's just a hole. Just
That's fine.
any snow that comes down, it doesn't mind. It's a big thing. A little bit of snow's not going to bother it.
Yeah, just checking.
Fair enough. Yeah, so you've actually come out onto the top of the mountain and now standing in the snow that's about knee high.
Well, floating above it.
Well, yeah. So you
I
could
get
land
to
if
fly
you
for
wanted.
4 hours. I get
Yeah.
to fly for 4 hours a day. I very rarely use 4 hours of flight a day.
That's fair. Yeah, so that's that.
If there's nothing of any dramatic interest up here, we can fly back down.
Do you want to make perception checks looking for the creature that disappeared?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Yeah, let's.
Are we all up there, or is it just him?
I think he only carried Pyre up. It would be pretty tight to carry 4 people.
Just checking.
I'll do a perception check.
16.
16.
No, I don't think I need to.
You don't see anything immediately.
Okay, I'll do it.
No disturbed snow or anything.
No disturbed snow, and Pyre you can see even less. Turns out wearing a mask at the top of a freezing cold mountain, you start to get ice forming over the eye holes. It's not going well for
eye
you.
holes!
Let's get you back down in the warm. Just down we go.
And so, dropping back through the hole, just nice and steady, just popping out behind the bedchamber. Or behind the bed area. As I say,
Well,
to Pan and Doris waiting.
if we can't go to the creature, perhaps we should lure the creature to us. I mean, can anybody make a very loud noise?
I mean, if setting off a party didn't do it,
Yes, that's true.
what about you, Mr. Pipes? What do you got in the bag to make a bit of noise?
Well, I've got
Hang on, let's figure out what we want to do to set a trap for this thing first, then make a noise.
a few instruments, but that's it really. Can all play them.
I don't think
A
I'm
trap?
proficient with it.
Well,
Does no one have Thunderwave or something?
God, no, I'm not a wizard of any description.
why would I want Thunderwave?
It makes a noise for 300 feet. It's the largest noise I could think the party could possibly make.
Yeah, but why would I want it?
It pushes people away from you.
I've
I'll
got
push you away from me in a minute.
minor illusion.
Thaumaturgy would probably be a better one if
Yeah, I've
anyone
got a
knows
few
that.
weird ones. I've got like dissonant whispers and stuff.
I'm going to cast Firebolt at the Sunstones.
Okay. As the firebolt heads to the top of the roof, several of them actually fall and come loose. They're a good size, about the size of your hand.
Do any of
Still
them hit us?
glowing and fairly warm.
Can I send Mary Banelo to gather some up for me?
Sure. You can pick up 4 intact ones.
4 intact Sunstones.
Oh, I've got 2 questions.
Hmm?
One, while we're faffing about in the cave, can this be treated as a short rest?
Yeah, sure.
And 2, can I have a look in that chest of weird stuff and try and work out what it is? Like,
Fair enough.
what's going on with it?
Yeah, that's fine. Make a
Rest.
insight check.
Insight?
Yes. Your insight into the weird things which have been put in this chest.
So I can
Inside?
cover 6 levels of spells.
Ooh, 9. You're not too sure, but the items look fairly well looked after.
This is a weird cave.
Are any of the dolls broken?
No, they've all looked like they've been put very delicately into this chest.
I'm going to take one out.
Okay,
Anything
that's
happen?
fine. No, it's children's doll.
I'm going to yeet it as hard as I can against the wall of the cave.
Wait, let me do my history thing on it.
Oh, man.
After I've smashed that one, I would like to take out another one and hand it to Morlan.
Oh, if it's a short rest, can I do my Song of Rest?
Sure. So you can everyone heal a bit more. Okay. So, Morlan, investigating for any dark past on the item, I believe.
Yes, a history check.
And it's probably not, but just in case, are they 100 years old?
They are not.
Because I can't remember how things was. Advantage on the history check.
What does your Song of Rest do?
Yeah, you get an extra 1d6 on your hit dice.
What, per
Ooh.
hit dice or?
I believe so.
22.
22. Okay. There isn't a dark past to it, but you suddenly piece together between the offering platter,
Oh,
between
D8.
the chest full of odds and ends, as well as a few nice items, and the fact this dragon has been living above this village probably for quite some time to have had the villagers carve out a cooling vent for it. They were probably gifts given to the dragon in thanks for its protection.
Oh, so
something
this
killed this
thing was a.
dragon.
This thing used to look after the area.
Oh. Isn't
Yeah.
that something that these priests should have told us?
To
Also,
be fair, if it was a good protector, then they probably had no reason to worry about it. But something's obviously corrupt, like just turned it undead.
I was going to say, you also... Did you tell everyone you realised it was a silver dragon, or did you not bother?
Oh yeah, I've just relay as you
Yeah.
mentioned it.
It was a silver dragon, so they're also known to be fairly nice creatures.
Yeah, chromatics are usually pretty crazy, but the metallics are pretty decent.
Well,
And in fact, Doris, have a history check.
can you speak to the dead
And Pyre, actually.
One
Doris and
history.
Pyre, one history check.
One history check, please.
Oh, yes, please.
I was going to say, Pyre, I think you're the only one who's going to get high enough for that. You are going to remember meeting this dragon, in fact, once before.
Oh,
The silver dragon shimmer scale you met when you were heading over towards the fire tower.
alas, poor Shimmerscale. I knew him well.
Toby, get off there.
Sorry. Well, don't call me Toby, though.
Sorry.
Yes, this is the dragon that told you to come visit it above Lakeview Town in the mountains.
Oh.
Well,
I'm sorry if
Well,
he
it was
was a friend of
fulfilled.
yours.
yes, well, no, you fulfilled his wish with that bloody great axe of yours.
What, he wanted to be killed?
No, he wanted to be visited.
Well, I mean, when you get them undead like that, it's a mercy to put them out of their misery.
Question is, what malevolent creature would have the power to reanimate such a huge, majestic beast?
To kill it in the first place is no small feat.
Well, for most people, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I did have a little bit of, three spellcasters helping me out. It wasn't exactly by myself.
Oh.
Well, I suppose we need to investigate this further, but I can't see that we can do any more here. Perhaps we should go and investigate the town. Now that we
Yeah, I
know
don't
that
like.
the immediate threat has gone.
Do you happen to know there's a spell? What's it called?
Probably not.
Alarm.
No. It would have been useful this one time.
There's a lot of spells like that, unfortunately.
I'm trying to. Doris, or Mr. Pipes, do you happen to know it? Let us know if anything comes back in here.
Really?
Or any kind of, keeping an eye on the place spell.
Cast minor illusion to make a little image of an eye on the wall, and then shrug my shoulders.
More just looks like, how long does that last?
I let the spell pass.
Oh.
Are there any dead bodies in this place? I could summon a corpse.
Mm.
Have him watch over the place.
I mean, there's the dragon corpse outside, but I think that's a bit beyond your spell.
Oh.
I think it's like humanoid size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Any other bodies around?
Well, there's the ones at the bottom of the mountain.
I mean, it's a little bit grim, but we could do with a lookout to keep an eye for whatever's up here. Although, how would it send us a message?
You leave your bird here to come find us?
This is a very complicated relay of all my minions, but I'm willing to do it. I happen to have Dance Macabre prepared today. Yes.
Fair enough.
I don't even know what Dance Macabre does.
It's
Dance
like Animate
Macabre.
Dead, but it's instant.
Ooh, funky.
Fair enough. So what are we doing next? Are we
Okay,
heading back?
you know Dance Macabre, but you don't know Alarm.
He has a weird combination of spells.
All of
It's
my
either
spells-
fire or necromancy.
They're all just combat based, basically. All of them.
Fair.
Dance Macabre. Oh,
Hmm.
I could actually get 7 zombies if you want.
Or skeletons, your choice.
Should we go to the village?
Yeah, that's.
Would you please give me a lift to the village?
Of course, hop on, everybody.
And I'm actually gonna BRB.
Fair enough. You
Right.
fly back.
I'd actually like to stay with this corpse. If Craig, if you'd be kind enough to let me say that I bought some powdered silver
Hmm.
in the thing, I'd like to hang out by the dragon corpse
Yeah, that's fine.
while you guys go to the village.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you do that.
You should talk to it before you lay it to rest.
Yes.
I was going to say. So, with the rest of you heading on Morland's back, Doris is going to walk down the mountain later. Might take her a little while, but there is a path.
Mhm.
What shall we do first? The village? No, Pyre said he'll be
Do-
back. Yeah, we'll do Doris
first.
Pyre said he'll be back in a minute, so we'll do Doris first. Doris,
The corpse can't be undead.
it was undead. It's not anymore.
Oh, does that just mean that you can't? Because I
You
was
can't
thinking,
cast it on like an active undead, I think is how I would break that down.
so I can't get Pyre to cast Dance Macabre, and then we walk along and just have a chat with the skeletons while we're walking.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. You got to talk to it before or after it's resurrected. One of the two.
Oh. I wanted to do ceremony on it. Oh, that takes like 6 hours.
An hour.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
an hour.
only to do funeral rites, so it can't become undead for the next 7 days.
Fair.
And then yeah, probably should speak to it.
Fair enough. Do you want to start with speaking to it then?
Sure.
Okay. So, you spend a few minutes casting, or I can't remember how long it is Speak with Dead takes to cast. It's an action, isn't it? So you begin by casting Speak with the Dead while setting up the funeral rites. As
Mhm.
the eyes of the great beast's head just open and begin looking at you.
Hello, dearie. Do you do you remember me?
When you browse
The volume on my phone. I'll try to switch to Speak with the Dead to double check the rules with it. Hang on. Semblance
You
of
get
life,
5.
intelligence. Yeah, must still
Yeah,
have a mouth.
It's
Yes.
the memory of the body, not the actual creature, basically.
Fair enough. Saw you
This is how it
with
breaks
the
down.
car long ago, weeks, maybe. That's what you got for your first question.
So I know that it can't learn new information and doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it's died. So I guess I could work out that like it won't know of anything since it's been undead.
No, since it was undead, no. But before then, yes.
What was the last being you remember seeing?
Bones, 3 heads, wings, only a second.
Do you have any other family?
Not for many years. Was looking for a mate. Tempted by I've forgotten the bloody name for the dragon from the first chapter. Iserica.
Sarika.
I am back.
You did not meet her before. In fact, none of this party have met her before.
What's happened? Sorry.
Doris is currently speaking with a corpse.
Oh, okay, good.
The only thing we learnt so far was 3 heads, wings, bones.
And wings.
Oh my god, it's Lord Marigar from Wrath of the Lich King.
For a second.
It was powerful enough to take this thing down in an instant.
Yeah. Is there any gods you dragons worship? You particularly?
Bahamut. The great of Archive.
You got one more question.
Clearing his throat.
The Baha men.
Aha!
They're the ones
What-
who let the dogs out or something.
do you
Yeah.
know of any artifacts that would be useful to us? Any that are hidden away, long lost things?
Seek. I'm just thinking of what you would actually know, definitely. He flies, as you know, because of previous things, he flies around a lot, leaving the village and then coming back. Because he was basically, as you've probably now guessed, trying to find a mate at some point.
You're right, mate.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sorry.
That's exactly right. He was looking for someone from Essex. It was terrible. So he's going to say woods to the east, old ruins, danger, treasure, probably. Before the eyes begin to shut and the head falls to rest once again.
Okay. Cool. And they're just doing the funeral rite to Bahamut.
Fair enough. Funeral rite for Bahamut is laying out candles and various other objects in the shape of his sigil, being the proud dragon's own head. Thankfully, you have an image to copy from.
Oh.
You were just speaking to give you a rough idea of shape before burning incense and regular things from that point forward. Okay. So, moving on from Doris to the rest of the party coming to the... Oh, excuse me, indigestion. Coming to the bottom of the cliffs, back towards the
Rotting
lake full of
Tomahawk.
bodies. Yeah. The rotting bodies and...
He's not at the school. He's one of the servants.
Cool. So, Pyre, this is your plan now.
Well, unfortunately, I've read my spell book, and it turns out that I can't use this spell for this purpose.
Damn.
Bugger.
Okay. So,
Well, that's that then.
I'll let you have a think about it while I fish some corpses out of the lake.
fair enough.
Well, they'll just
Good
keep
luck with that.
diving and pulling more and more bodies out of the lake as much as possible, and pulling as much like dead dragon meat out the lake. Try and unputrefy this lake as best as we can.
Fair enough. You spend about 30 minutes getting all the corpses and pieces you can do while everyone else is having a think.
Mhm.
In total, you've noticed there's probably about 60 bodies here. Mostly older people.
Most of the tech. Wait, no kids?
Very few.
I'm going to look for the shop.
Fair enough. As you head through, you find a general store sitting just at the edge of town. You notice it seems to sell a lot of joint medicine and various other things.
Was this a retirement community?
Yes, well, if they...
Wait, are we in fantasy Florida?
Pretty much, actually.
Is there any money in the till?
There's the change they would usually make up. There's a collection of silver coins and coppers. If you want to take them.
I'm going to look at them in disgust.
About 30 of each so they could make change for people.
I'm going to try and find the bedroom of the people and have a look around. See if there's anything weird about their personal effects.
As you look around the place, you notice that this seems to be one of the few places which has multiple bedrooms. And interestingly, you're going to hear a noise coming from one of them after a moment. As you're searching the first one.
I'm going to go to the door of the one and put my ear to it and commit a hear.
Okay, make a perception check.
Perception. I should probably know it by now. 19.
19, pretty good. You can hear two small, probably footsteps moving across the floor. 2 sets of them, sorry. That's what I meant to say.
2 sets of small footsteps.
Moving across the floor, and by the sounds of it, possibly closing something.
I'm going to swing the door open as quickly as I can.
Okay, you're going to hear a small yelp from inside a cupboard, and then silence.
Aha! I'm going to jump into the room, like pointing, and then look around the room. Is there anything in there?
This appears to be a children's bedroom.
I'm going to shout for anyone who can hear me to come and join me, and then I'm going to I'm going to wait whilst watching the cupboard.
I'll come in.
Okay, so there are now 2 of you in this room. There appear to be 2 small beds. They're either perfectly sized for gnomes or human children.
There's something in that cupboard. Prepare yourself.
At the sound of voices, there's going to be a small creak coming from the cupboard.
I'm going to slowly but surely open the door of the cupboard while staying to the side of it, so panpipes is the first
Right
thing
in
they
the
see.
middle.
So if you're doing that, you also won't see in as it opens. So Pan, inside you're going to see 2 small children cowering, covered in bed sheets.
I'm going to prepare a firebolt.
Ah,
What do you see?
ghosts.
Ghosts!
Oh God, you're gonna
Slam the
murder.
door shut. I'm gonna slam the door shut
I
again.
was gonna say, please don't murder children immediately.
And then I'm running out. Morland! Doris!
Two small, weird, tiny shapes under some sheets. Like a ghost.
Morland like comes in, axe drawn, but like cautiously, and just sort of sniffs the air and was like, "Do I smell undead?"
You do not smell undead.
Morland, prepare yourself. I'm going to open the door again.
I don't think they're ghosts. They don't smell like ghosts.
And then I'm going to do the same thing, but with Morland facing it.
Okay, as you open the door to Morland's rather imposing and somewhat terrifying visage in places,
Morland's not like child friendly.
there is going to be a somewhat loud scream.
I slammed the door shut again. What did you see?
I think they're children.
Children. Human?
Hiding under it. Well, I don't know if they're human, but they appear to be either children or very high-pitched goblins.
Goblins. I see.
Either way, they seem to be hiding under sheets.
Yeah,
and apparently quite scared.
Okay, I'm going to open the door normally.
Okay.
Hello?
Now they've met with a man wearing an iron mask. Once again, a scream is going to ring out pretty quickly here. The most friendly person in this group was Pan.
Yeah, we possibly should have got the bard to do this.
He did the first time, but all he saw was ghosts.
Morland will run up the sky self to appear like a human man of normal height.
Fair enough.
I will play a soothing tune off my panpipes.
Fair enough.
And
Okay.
I will reassuringly pick my teeth with my knife.
Throw a mask?
That's why it's reassuring.
No, I'll tell you what I will do.
Rubbing a knife on his face at that point.
I'm going to pull Puck out of my pocket and put him on my hand, and then push him towards, or like hold him towards the kids to gesture for them to stroke him, while Pan plays a soothing tune.
Yes.
I was going to say,
Morland in human guise now is like, it's all right, kids.
It was a
The monster's
15, so
gone.
maybe it works. I don't know.
yeah, I was going to say, the older of the two is going, what's going on? All I've done for the last few minutes is terrifying people opening doors.
Yeah,
Your
we're sorry
requested
about that.
donation to shut the door again.
The younger child is still actively bawling at this
Yeah,
point
yeah.
now.
A bit of a mix. We
Small
were
child.
we were scared of you. We thought you was ghosts. Isn't that silly, hey? Morland desperately trying to calm children and
Well, I mean,
not being
Make a persuasion check.
You have to understand our point of view. With every villager in this thing horrifically dead and dying out on the street outside, what could we have done?
5.
So,
Charisma is my one terrible stat.
fair enough. Oh, dear. Okay.
I am not a good people person.
Maybe
That's fair.
I'll attempt to persuade them, telling them we're friends. We're here to help.
Fair enough. 20. That's a little better. Okay. So that they're going to
Morland just
begin.
says that and then drops the disguise self at the same time. It's just 7.5, 8 feet tall again.
So yeah, so the one actively blubbering begins like settling ever so slightly as his older sister begins touching his shoulder gently and saying, I think we're okay. I'm not sure.
We're the good guys. Listen to the little fuzzy dude.
So, looking towards Mr. Pipes, who is standing there just playing a pipe and gently trying to reassure them. It's not going overly well, but they're better off than they were.
My
That's
jaunty
like-
jig.
Why are you here? What's going on? We were told not to leave the house. We've been living off the last of the milk and bread we had.
That's a good plan. And you did real well doing as you were told. Good job. Seems some nasty folk got hold of your dragon. But
What happened to Mr. Shimmer?
he's for a very long trip.
Does the small child looking up at you is it's going to begin mentioning a couple of previous events just because I'm going to skim over it instead of doing it in character because my voice is starting to hurt. I've been talking for a while. It's just going to recount events. For example, her younger brother giving the dragon the toy soldiers as an offering. Various times he's helped the village. So on and so forth. It's just visibly upset at the concept of him having left. Not having ever cottoned on to the dying. Oh, someone was having some issues there. Doris, at this point, I'll say you're starting to get down the mountain. Okay. Oh, that's me. I need to turn my mic down. Okay. So, as the child now begins to look back up, you say, well, what are we going to do? Who's going to look after the village now?
Perhaps it is no longer your home. We need to take you to somewhere where people can look after you.
But where's that? Our parents are here.
Well, I happen to know of a man who owns a castle who would like to adopt 2 small children.
Maybe they could go to Irid.
Or we could
Godhome
take them to
or something.
Godhome, where the priests are.
I'm not sure which one.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say, given this conversation is happening in front of them, they're going to say, but who'd want to adopt us? Why do we need adopting?
Well, your parents are dead, obviously. There must be amongst the rotting out on the beach.
Subtlety of a brick.
Realise.
They've not left the house for days. They've been hiding in here.
Look, it's some bad people, have come, and lots of people, unfortunately, have died. But think of it this way: now you've got tragic backstories, and you can be rogues.
I mean, I need to stop laughing at that comment. Oh, dear.
No, I will say something probably more sensible and go.
Fair enough.
We need to put you somewhere safe because you're running out of food. You said, we need to take you down to Godhome with us. We're really strong. I mean, look how big my axe is. I have to be really strong just to lift it. Look,
I was going to say the demonic-looking axe with the freaking glowing red edge is not.
It admittedly is not the most comforting thing, but
I was going to say
being swung by the werewolfy-looking dude.
It's kind of a really bad combination for this.
We're really strong and really, really tough. But we have to be so we can fight the monsters. You see. So
they're going to look up towards and say, "Are there dragons in Godhome?"
I tell you what, I know a dragon lady who would love to meet you. In that right pipes.
Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Okay. We can go there then. That sounds okay.
Good. Now, you gather up your things. Pack a bag each. Get some clothes. Get your toys, and we'll get everybody else. Get our other friend, and we'll get out of here. Okay.
Okay. They begin gathering
got any food. Like all I've got is rations.
No, all I have is rations.
Damn.
I mean, we've got Pan's dice.
I mean, yeah.
It's a bit pot luck to try and throw a party for them.
I think it's the best
Maybe.
thing.
Maybe when we get to Godhome.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't want to
Not
conjure
throw.
a magical darkness.
Yeah, not throw a party over the corpses of their parents outside. He says once they've gone to pack bags.
Fair enough. I was going to say, I assume you're out of the room considering you were in their bedroom.
Yeah, like I'll be waiting out the front of the house sort of thing.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so the children are going to come down with what appears to be stolen from the store below, you would assume, adventuring backpacks, which are about as tall as they are. However, it was their parents' store.
Well,
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I told you they've got tragic backstories. They're going to be rogues.
It does kind of work out that way.
Put them to death.
Oh dear! At which point, in about an hour or so,
How old are these children, by the way? How old are these
you would
children?
take a guess at about 8 and 6.
Ah, that's fine. More than will make sure, like if they've got adventuring packs, he'll nip back into the shop and get them a knife each.
Fair enough. Grabs
Like,
me
now.
a reasonable dagger.
I'm going to get them a great sword.
It's definitely bigger than them. Carry it between them and run at people and take them out of the shins.
So, great sword is unlikely. I will get away with a small knife or like a working field dagger.
Yeah, like an actual dagger each, and like fasten it onto the little belts each. Like, you always carry a blade when you go out in the wilds. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. What was your name?
My name's Morlan. I'm, the strong one in the party. This is Pyre. He's the smart one. This is Mr. Pipes. He's really fun.
At this point, Doris is going to be in.
I was gonna do something a bit different.
Oh, okay. What do
you? So down off the mountain at the bottom, there's like all the bodies of the villagers, isn't there?
They have been dragged out of the lake by Morlan whilst you were up the top performing your ceremony.
While you guys are doing this, I just want to cast Speak with the Dead and basically be like, right, name what god did you worship, and just start organising them.
This is the tier pile. This is the Bahamut pile.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, you can cast it at will, so you're going to note that most of them worship Bahamut as it's the major religion. There are a few outliers for Saloon and a few others.
But I wanted you to roleplay every single one.
I was going to speak to that because there's like 60 bodies there.
Yeah, she's just doing that.
Doris takes a census.
Right, the majority of this one, so it's one big group funeral.
Right, 5 questions. We've got name, god, occupation,
fair enough.
type.
What's your name and where'd you come from?
And
if you had to build an ice cream parlour with me on a fancy date. Doris is blind deaf.
Yes.
Oh, dear. Okay, so while you're setting up a mass funeral...
I mean, to be fair, we literally have the perfect person for a funeral pyre.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so obsessed with fire. It's all perfect.
No.
I know, it's
I
perfect.
could animate some of them as well.
Maybe.
In fact,
not
should
a
I?
kids.
Yeah, but before the kids come out, I'm going to say to Morlan, do you think I should animate his parents so they could have one last hug before they go?
I mean, can they talk and stuff when you do that?
I mean,
No, they'll
do they
probably-
want to hug a bloated corpse?
No, they'll probably put them off quite a bit. It might emotionally scar them, but I'm not very socially aware, so you have to tell me if that's a good or a bad thing.
Mauler just looks back at you with his -1 to charisma and goes, maybe we should ask Mr. Pipes on this one. He's the people person.
I think it's a brilliant idea. No. No.
Well, just
Bad
Mauler and
idea.
Pyre looking at you like, okay, I guess.
Bad idea. I don't think that'll help.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the children. Where are you heading to first? Are you going to take the book back, or were you planning to go get on the carts?
We have cards, but we should probably take them home.
Yeah, we take the carts.
I was going to say, as you head towards Horatio and Sans, who I forgot I've named previously. You see the two of them still waiting nervously outside the village, just stretching, being ready to move at a minute's notice.
Hello there. Please take us down and make sure these children are kept but not die.
This is.
I say, could
Want
you
to watch me chop a tree down? Like,
say the girl's about to say, I need to double check what happens with levitate. Are you in control of your movement?
yeah, you can raise them up to 20 feet in the air. You can move them up and down. Pretty much.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. An unwilling
It's
creature.
it's not just a yeet like
Aeon, con saving throw.
from a child.
No. From a child, does ironically a 19 beat your spell safety?
Probably.
Should
yes.
do.
Amazingly, you are unable to levitate a child because he doesn't know it's coming. So I'm going to guess he's unwilling to start with.
Are you even a wizard?
No.
It's like he's a very good wizard.
Just he needs a bit of time to get ready.
He is the power pack for the Moreland blender. Like,
Oh dear, right, let's save the campaign because I don't think I'll need the map again for today. Okay. Excellent.
So I assume we head back to town.
You head back to Godholm. On the edge of the city this time, you are each stopped as a group. Doris, I assume, is still going to be waiting behind performing the ceremonies. It's going to catch up later, as is her nature.
I wasn't going to actually do the ceremonies. I was basically just going to like get them organised and then tell Godholm they're over there.
Oh, fair enough. So we'll say you came back on the cart as well.
Mm-hmm. Mostly because I don't want to spend 25 gold's worth of silver on a bunch of commoners for each
Fair
one.
enough. Fair enough. I was going to let you do it as one mass grave.
I mean, to be fair, we'd be better off resurrecting the dragon. Like,
Fair. Okay. So with that, as you approach into Godholm, you are stopped by two paladins waiting at the gates, as they always are. Or the entrance to town is not much of a gate. And they're going to begin.
Moreland will disguise self to look less terrifying.
They're going to begin and come taking a census over the party. Now, to save me a lot of time than listing every magical item you own which isn't currently hidden in a bag of holding or you want to try and hide on your person, does anyone have any items which I have told you are cursed? Does anyone have any items which would classify as weapons of mass destruction?
Well,
The axe is on that list.
I was going to say, like, yes, but only when I'm wielding it.
Fair enough. And does anyone have anything
against the wall? It's fine.
Yeah. And does anyone have anything that would stand out as creepy as a magical item?
Also the axe.
Yes, to all of them for Pyre's mind.
Okay. The Red Helm mask is going to be fine, but it will be taken note. The second skin armor they can't actually see when you've got it attuned. The Staff of Striking is fine.
I've got the Helm of Devil Command as well.
That,
One
on the other hand,
weird
is
silver finger.
I don't know what I haven't identified it yet. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You literally have a wizard in the party who can just do it.
I can do it as well as a ritual.
I think you were planning to do it after you used the contact other plane, and you just went insane and forgot.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Because every time you've tried to contact other plane, you've gone mental.
Yeah. Okay. So the Helm of Devil Command is going. They're going to request to keep it at the gates for you until you leave.
Got the weird silver finger on my axe.
No, the Helm of Devil Command. The axe is actually fine. They know about that because they were there when it was dropped.
Fair.
The
I mean, I'm not using the helmet, but do I get like a ticket or something?
They write you a receipt note and then lock it into a small vault hidden in one of the guard outposts.
Seems weird that they want the helmet but not the axe. But okay.
I was going to say, I assume you've shown them the items as they were requesting to see anything you had on you.
Morland is very trusting.
Fair enough. Yeah, so they've seen the items, they know something about it. Okay. So with
None of
that,
them were questioning how I'm lifting it or anything.
yeah, but just let that one go.
Like, I could just like swing it around with one hand and go like, "What are you guys going to do? You guys want to try and hold it?" Like,
if they tried, they'd have to like drag it off between them. It wouldn't go well.
I just think that's what they do. They try to pull it like away between them and go, "Guys, I'll just carry it." Like,
yeah, no, they're only too worried about the helmet. Yeah, no, that's fine, Tosha. Nope, as I say, the finger is. They look at it, and that I'm going to have to roll for because you haven't got around to identify it. Nope, they're going to let you keep the silver finger in case it's something important to you personally. They're not sure what the hell it is. Okay, so as you head into town now, Horatio and his friend are going to drop you back at the Druids Park towards the centre of town.
we may require new batteries in the remote soon.
As you disembark, they then head back over towards the markets, thanking you for their wages and disappear and say, please don't take us anywhere that terrifying again if you do hire us.
Yeah, sorry. More just apologise to the hired help.
Yeah. As the two small children are now standing in what appears to be a large field filled with various animals of odd species which don't look native to the area at all.
Look, children, your new home.
A park?
Well, this isn't all of
Run
it.
along.
This is
Oh, we're keeping them, are we?
well, no. I was going to take him to the temple where we left Merrick and introduce him to the dragon woman, Morgan.
Oh, yes, of
Morin.
course. Excellent idea.
Fair enough. Okay, so as you begin heading towards the Grand Chantry, check the calendar. Ludicrous fact, I have to say.
At some point during the journey, can I have identified my magic silver platter?
Yes, you can.
Oh, same for the weird silver finger.
Sure.
Can we just identify all this weird shit?
Whilst you've been travelling back across. Okay. So, identify is going to reveal the silver platter. It allows you to cast Hero's Feast by placing a simple offering of any food piece once a day.
That's
Is it
so good.
It is
Oh.
not an attuned item.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
I was going to say,
That's so good.
yeah, that is a powerful item. All you need is any piece of food.
I happen to have a piece of food.
I'm sure you do. Okay,
I'm
and
going to make the children a hero's feast.
fair enough. As I say, I assume Morlan is carrying this on the large platter as you head back.
Probably.
Oh, would it fit in the cart?
But you're not on the cart after you've been dropped off.
Okay, I'll wait.
Like how big is this silver platter? Like is it like
To
Do
be
I
to be fair, you'd be able
size,
to.
coffee table size? Like what are we talking?
If you imagine, I'm trying to think of a good representative size for the distance I've got written up here. About the size of a small table.
So it's like a coffee table.
Yeah, pretty much, but around, just perfectly round.
How often can I cast Hero's Feast?
Once a day.
Once a day, okay.
It lasts for 24 hours. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Hero's Feast is so good.
It is a
Do I need to consume
big.
a gem encrusted bowl worth 1,000 gold every time?
No. This one works just with the food. I'm guessing that's
Okay.
Chris messaging saying why he's late.
Uh-huh. Does it? If we put different food on it, will it make different style?
The
hero
food will
feast?
be a representative of what's placed on it. So, what are you placing on it in the minute? Just so to give you a rough idea of how this works.
I am going to... We're in the town, right?
Yeah.
Are there any shops nearby that sell...
You're walking past the market, so there's the fruit vendor.
I would like to find the most high quality piece of lamb I can.
Fair enough. Okay, so you head over past Yuki to the.
One kebab.
I was going to say, yeah.
Do
You,
the kebab.
you find the guy in the corner sharpening a very sharp blade. He's got large wheel of like stuck together pieces of meat cooking on a skewer over some magical fire.
I'm going to go up to him and go, you sell meat, right?
Yes, fresh cooked meat, lovely fresh, lovely fresh.
I would like to purchase some of this meat from you, sir.
Very
Please,
good.
may I have one shank of lamb?
1 silver, please, as he begins carving off the set portion of meat.
I take out a silver piece and hand it to Mary Bandalo.
Who then, I assume, hands it to the merchant.
Yeah.
Is it, to his perspective, just flies across. 'Cause it's unseen servant. Okay, so you now have your piece of meat.
Where are
You're currently
gentlemen
standing around in a
go
market.
inside somewhere? I have a very interesting meal to prepare.
Okay, so you duck in. You notice most of the buildings around here appear to be stores, so you've not got a lot of luck there.
Oh,
Go back to the park. Let's have a hero's picnic.
let's go and have a hero's picnic in the park.
Fair enough. You head to the Druids Park and settle down in the quietest area. You notice most of the Druids here appear to be sleeping in animal form. As I say, the children are now somewhat perplexed as to what's going on. They were told they were going to a home and they've gone to a market, back to the park.
We've got a present for you.
And then I go, Alakazam! And throw the lamb at the platter.
Okay, make a ranged attack roll, because you're trying to throw it. So, regular attack plus dex. You can just put it on. I will let you get away with that.
Okay. Making me type this.
16.
Not bad.
Not bad. You land it pretty close to the middle, and as the lamb lands onto the platter, you notice the ruined edges begin to glow ever so slightly. Faint white light followed by a blue, followed by slow drifting what appears to be vapor coming up out of them. As it does, the plate changes from a single piece of lamb in the center to half a roast lamb, coupled along with a selection of relevant vegetables, so root vegetables, well baked and roasted, boiled, mashed, stewed potatoes. Take your pick. You get mint sauce and gravy appear as well, all designed so the meal designs itself to complement around whatever's placed in the center.
I'm going to say, children, eat food good. And I'm going to eat food good.
Fair enough. You enjoy your meal.
Told you he was a good wizard.
That's it. The children are delighted at the sight of this, given it's an entire side of lamb. And, all general favourites, including some desserts. I'm going to say rice pudding for the sake of ease. Which they immediately...
10 creatures, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a big enough plate that 10 people could eat pretty well off it, and there's 6 of you at the minute.
And we get Max H, I was about to say, more than scarf down some lamb.
Fair. Okay, so as you finish up eating, what do you want to do now? You've seen your magic trick as the children are wide-eyed and happy. And
we get like max HP, and we get advantage on wisdom saving throws for a day.
This is also true. I will get the full list for you. Hang on. Yeah, so 1 hour to consume. So you've been sitting here an hour enjoying this picnic as well, and it's 12 creatures for the record.
Nice.
You are cured of all diseases and poison. You become immune to poison, including damage, and being frightened. All wisdom saves have advantage, and everyone roll. I'll roll it. Or Pyre can roll it 1 or 2. But I'll do. Roll 2d10. And all your hit points are increased by 18 for the next 24 hours as temporary hit points.
Temporary, I thought Heroes Feast was max HP.
Oh, it is max HP, but you'd have to keep
Yeah,
track
yeah.
of it. So I'd put it on as temporary, and just say you can add separately to that temporary, because otherwise, keeping
Temporary
track
hit
would be.
points, but you can heal them.
Yeah.
Is that like
This
double their
benefit
HP,
lasts for
or is-
this benefit lasts for 24 hours.
Cool.
Nice, and the cooldown of the spell is 24 hours. So
Yep.
Mhm.
we're going to spend
Basically-
at least an hour a day for the rest of our lives eating.
Stuffing your face.
Have a hero's
Man.
breakfast every day.
Pretty much. And this will be why you all start getting fat.
I won't get fat.
I think you'll find Morland burns off a good amount of energy.
Fair enough.
He does a
Okay.
lot of running around.
So, post feast, the children are somewhat dozing in the grass at this point, having seemed to have calmed down a fair amount after, events.
Just glossing over the.
Not glossing over the death of an entire village, you telling them their dragon has disappeared, and, Pyre just completely blurting out your
probably
parents are dead.
I'm so tempted to say there, and as I'm patting them on the shoulder, cast Dimension Door into the temple.
I mean, you
Yeah, but
could.
you go with them, that's the thing.
Oh yeah, you can't do it to two other people. It's you and one other.
Oh, I was hoping a kind DM would let me do two because they're small.
I mean, you could go with them and take the two. I'd let you get away with that.
Stand them on top of each other, put them in one trench coat. Like
It's fine. It counts as one. Oh dear.
Anyway,
Okay.
let's. Oh dear, drop these kids off.
Fair enough. You begin making your way over towards the Grand Chantry. As you do, you pass several of the hermitages on the way, people staring at a somewhat unusual group of 4 slightly strange adults walking with 2 small human children. Although, to be fair, Pyre is human, no one technically knows that. He wears a solid iron mask all the time. He could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach the Grand Chantry once again, you're going to spot Matron Megara, still out the front. Clearly, you've managed to arrive at the same time of day you were here previously. The elderly Blue Dragonborn, or I say elderly Blue Dragonborn, they live quite a while, it's hard to tell, is going to say, "Oh, you've returned already. I thought you were heading off."
Well, whatever it was causing this problem for you, my friend here killed it in less than 6 seconds.
Impressive.
Yes, we've also got these. As I nudge the children towards the priest. I trust you'll take care of them. Their parents were viciously murdered, but they don't like hearing about it.
As the younger one starts sobbing quietly again this time. Still happy having eaten and not being alone, but not openly bawling like he was last time.
they're the last survivors of Lakeview.
The
Yes.
entire town?
Last ones left.
So it would seem.
Oh dear.
They were extremely competent and hid really well.
I see. Well, do come in, children. We'll have supper on shortly. We can look after you here for a while. We will find good homes for you. She gestures them inside. Or perhaps the priesthood might take you.
Not a bad life. A friend of ours was a cleric.
Yes. Didn't end. Actually, I'm not going to have her say that she's trying to be comforting to children. I was about to say didn't end so well for him.
She has some tact.
Yeah, she has some tact. Oh dear. Paladins have charisma-based stats. Thankfully. So-
Morland will drop her 5 platinum. It's like, look, just give them a good start. You know.
So she takes the coin and says, "We shall make sure they are well seen to. Hopefully adopted out to a kinder family here in the city, where we can keep an eye and make sure they do well."
I don't know how.
She's also going to hand a piece of parchment with a location on it, with a small map leading to a store nearby, and says, "Here, for your troubles. The gentleman here might be of interest to you."
I'm going to go down to one knee to the children's height, and I'm going to give them a sunstone and say, "I hope this helps you to survive a bit better than your parents did." Now, goodbye.
Where is the bard? Why isn't the bard doing this? Damn it, Pipes.
Sitting back enjoying the show.
By the children are going to look at the shiny, warm stone currently resting in their hands and go, "Thank you." And then, once again, after the fucking mention of dead parent, be visibly upset as they head now.
Again, we've
Right,
basically just
by a
birthed
monk.
the next generation of adventurers. They are orphans, they have adventuring gear, they have a knife each, and a magical artifact, and a tragic backstory.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's it. Oh dear.
They are the next. Whoever dies next. Like,
Yeah, I'm
Just
rolling
saying.
an 8-year-old rogue.
An 8-year-old girl with a knife.
what are the children's names? Like,
Talia and John. Anyway, as they're guided off by
whoever
a monk,
dies next, you come back
Hmm.
as Talia or John.
or both. In
Or
a
both in a
trench
trench coat.
Yeah,
Hey, I found a homebrew for three halflings in a trench coat as a class.
2 children in a trench coat is surely just as easy.
Pretty much.
Multi-class.
You get an extra attack, like because you've got 4 arms.
Multipass?
Oh dear. Okay.
Talia
So,
John multiclass.
so with that, you've been handed directions to a small store nearish the Chantry, which has been slated to be some intriguing store that might be of interest to adventurers.
Oh, I'm an adventurer.
Happy.
Oh, this store seems interesting to me.
However, we are going to end it there, I
You-
think, because we're getting
Yeah,
10 o'clock-ish.
I'm interested by your ideas and would like to read your pamphlet.
You've been handed the pamphlet. You can take that and deal with it later. Okay, I will sort.